Could you give us a recap of the events of last week's Grey Wanderers?
Yeah, I can do that. We continue the fight. The fight with Ellis in his new form. He has a lot of new tricks in this form, making the battle a hard one. Mungus is wounded bad from the get-go, and I start shielding and healing, and Ellis starts to target me, moving directly towards me. Starts to try and kill me. I'm fumbling my words very bad here.
You're fine.
We deal with these minions as he gets very close to killing me, but now everyone starts focusing on him. He summons an elemental, and sadly it's too much for me and I die. The rest of the group continue to fight, angered by the death of their companion. I do believe so. People are starting to look very wounded. Ellis summons another elemental. Nasira stunned the elemental, but then Ellis knocked her unconscious, and then LJ manages to do the final blow, ending the battle. Nathaniel in the background freed Ellen and Davian. Nasira looks at them, but they look like they have been drained. They will recover, but they are out for now. They collect essence from Ellis and find a stone tablet similar to the one Mungus has, but it seems darker. They decide to head back to Candle and try and find a way to save me, meeting back up with Dosha and Mirren. We reach Candle. Nasira wants to save Onvir as fast as possible, but gives in to the fact that it's late and they need to sleep. Upon waking, they all felt a new source of strength, leveling up to 11. We end there.
All right. Thank you for that recap. What's the name of your deity again?
Hildar.
Guldar?
Hildar.
Godar?
Alright, Hildar. Got it. So, let's see here. Mungus, you were asking me about a certain tattoo, yes?
Yeah, so I was thinking about what everyone would be doing after we get back to the manor, and my thoughts were I wanted to take Onvir down to the cellar, wrap him in a linen cloth or something, some kind of like bed or sheet or whatever, and then I was going to stay with Onvir in the cellar and had an idea of so Mungus's tattoos are all about ancestors and family and the things that the feats that his close family have done, and the way Onvir was just explaining it to it, he would not have been effective in the fight had he not been healed by Onvir. So over the night, Mungus was going to give himself a little tattoo on the back of his hand that was a silhouette of Onvir, just like a black silhouette of Onvir on his hand.
Alright, and you were going to go out to maybe a tattoo artist within the town to do this?
No, I was going to do it myself.
Alright, so how would you do the glowing part? Because I don't know if you have any
That was the
magical
other-
abilities.
And that was the thing before we got. I wanted to ask if one of our magic party goers would be willing to teach Mungus how to do the casting light, and in doing that would cast light on the ink and then inject glowing ink into his hand in the form of Onvir's silhouette.
Do any of you have the continual flame spell?
Onvir?
Oh, that's
No, Nasira's not high enough level cleric.
It's a second level evocation, but that's the spell that gives you a permanent light ability. So I was just wondering if any of you had that ability.
DM, I'm gonna do the strive for this week.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for that.
We
So
could probably
LJ.
find a cleric or caster in town. That spell usually costs 50 gold in materials, I believe, and
Yeah,
so we could
that's
probably find someone to do it for you, Mungus, if we want.
that's actually what I was going to suggest. That if none of you have that ability, that you could probably get a NPC to help with that. So now the other thing would be if this was a glowing tattoo that shed light as like a torch. I'm assuming you'd want to have the ability to cover it, right?
Right, and I would just use like either a glove or a wrap of some sort.
All right, so yeah, maybe some hand wraps or something that you could put over that. All right, so yeah, maybe the next day you would make that tattoo and pay someone. Would you have the? Let's see. I mean, for the spell, it would probably be about 100 gold for the spell and the service, because it takes 50 gold for the spell. Then the service is probably about another 50.
Yeah, I don't have. I have 10 gold, so this is all a great idea. I guess I'll just do it myself, and it won't glow.
You guys gotta pay him.
Well, I think it's a fun idea, honestly, and we can probably work on getting it for you. But I think that I at this point we want to find. Nasira would be eager to see if the party's treasure and fundage is enough to get Anvir resurrected.
Right. First
but then
things first,
after-
have an idea of that's yeah.
But then after that, I'm perfectly happy if we have 50 gold in components or valuables, or 100 gold in components or valuables, or whatever, to like get Mungus to put the item service he wants. Because honestly, I mean, a continual flame tattoo would be awesome for other reasons than just the sentimental value of the
Oh yeah, at will
Design,
light
yeah.
source.
yeah.
All right, so maybe he has
When he doesn't
the
have dark vision.
he has the tattoo, but he's waiting on the enchantment for it. So for now, he just has the tattoo. It just doesn't glow yet.
LJ would go to the ship with gold is, coin pouch is, and get all the platinum bars out of there
Okay.
and put them transfer them over to the bag holding. Goes back to Nasir and says, I have the funding, I got them from the coin bus and the ship.
Let us go to the Church of Hildar and discuss with them what has befallen Anvir.
So did we
I
come?
think you guys were still waiting to find a place to actually revive me because
Yeah,
guys had
we-
gone to bed and Nathaniel was like, all
Story-
my contacts are going to be in bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
story wise, Nathaniel is currently seeking out the location of a possible resurrector.
Oh, okay.
So it's morning time, basically. Mungus has his tattoo. He has someone who can enchant it. It would just require the funding, and you're just waiting on Nathaniel to finish up his.
I just figured we'd go either to the Church of Hildar if there's one in town, or the biggest church in town. But if Nathaniel, I guess, is doing that, then I guess we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs anxiously to hear what he finds.
Yeah, the Candleholm Church would not have someone skilled enough to perform a resurrection. Yeah.
Yeah, LJ is going to go to some place and punch the shit out of some training dummies.
All right. LJ is in the training room at the base, punching some dummies. Does anyone want to do some RP between characters before I progress the scene, or you want me to just pass time?
I will.
I know what your role play is going to be on Veer. You lay there. That.
He is particularly silent and particularly cool.
Yeah, very stoic. Very stoic for even for him.
Awesome gas.
Yeah, if anyone wants LJ with, God damn it, RP with LJ, yeah, feel free. He's not going to do anyone else. He's going to train Troll.
LJ has been working through some anger issues in the sparring room.
You probably hear the training dummies loud. Like, what the fuck?
Shattering.
He would be pissed off. His sword got eaten. His mate got killed.
Well, he did get his sword back though, so that was good.
I did get that back, but I still am pissed of Onweir.
That's fair. So did we? Yeah, I think we did pass the day. It's 10:30 in the morning on the next day. So yeah, anyone want to do some RP, or shall I just pass time?
Question, what's the date?
It is the 46th of spring at 10:30 a.m.
Oh, the last time I get a recap was the 45th. Okay.
Yeah, it was yesterday. All right, so I will pass time then. At around 12 o'clock, Nathaniel would call for you all to gather within the hall. And he says, you're not going to believe this, but apparently Onweir has family in the area and is part of some big church. It seems the answer was right under our nose. I wouldn't even have to go far into my contacts. He says, the church is, the temple is hidden within the caves, a bit south of here, actually. It's not close, but I think we could make it in a couple of days. Especially if we took your little ship.
Let's go.
Are we able to operate that? Because I still like. I know.
This is oh yeah, no one knows how to operate it anymore, huh?
Well, Elvin had been learning, but if we need to take a cart or something.
How much time would you put into that, Eldwin? How much?
I only had time to put 1 day into that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would have been.
He can back it up. That's about it.
Yeah.
I only know how to reverse.
He's like, I think this is the reverse button. Oh no, that's the forward button.
Can we take Uvlal's body to get resurrected too, so we have our pilot back?
He's been dead a while now.
Just have to-
But-
he would require the big one.
So, true resurrection.
Some big ones.
Yeah, and he is an NPC, so it's less likely he'd want to come back. You could certainly try if you want to speak with Dead for him. I think someone did that though, didn't they?
No,
I might be thinking of a different game. But yeah, you could always try to talk to him and see if he wanted to come back. But for now,
I don't think I've ever casted Speak with Dead. No.
we yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, question is, who gets LJ from his training session, quote unquote?
I assume you were
Who's
just
talking
kind of called by Nathaniel. He called everyone.
You heard your boss calling and you came.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, get over here, Leo Jr. His usual polite self. All right.
And
Are we talking
LJ
about the same Nathaniel?
And LJ would still try to hit on Nathaniel, even though rage.
Nathaniel would probably react with indifference as usual.
As usual, yes. I got him in the end.
So he says, well, if you're all willing to make the trip on foot, it shouldn't be more than a few days. So maybe his friends will even be able to give us a discount on this.
On the way.
All right. So
Mungus is carrying Onweir on the way.
is there anything that you all need to do before leaving?
I'm looking if I need something for one.
Nathaniel says, are we going to head to Revan's Pass from there? It's actually on the way. Or are we coming back to Candle to do some more work here?
I don't know.
I think we probably should figure that out at the revive, Andre.
Also, I know I'm dead, but just so everyone remembers, we also have a very incapacitated Elian and Davey.
Oh.
They are still sleeping. They're actually awake. Well, sorry, they slept for the night and they are awake again. So they're okay now.
I think that they should come with us. I don't want to risk another raid on our manor, especially when we're away and they're weekend.
So another Uval situation?
Maybe. I don't know what you guys think. And how James, Ellen, and Mirren too, what are your thoughts on we're heading to this temple to see what we can do for Anvir. Do you want to come with us, or?
I know there's a lot of danger on the road. I'm not sure, she says, but I would not be against staying here. But I don't know. Dosha says I would be willing to stay and defend them if needed.
As was Uvlo.
He says perhaps the demon could help. He looks
You'd have to-
to Eldwin.
It's like, yeah, I can leave Seal outside.
Ciel says, I will eat anyone who tries to enter.
Would
Valid
Anvir's
point.
enchantment actually would be
Yeah.
in place too now, which we didn't have when.
I was
when
also going
Scarlet
to
got
just say,
kidnapped.
just for a point of order, he has to be outside. He
That's
can't
why I
come
said, that's why I
inside.
said outside.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's
That's right. Seal can't come in.
he's guarding the front door. He's the bouncer. He's probably staying out of sight because he'd freak out the city if they knew about him. Who else is at your house? We have Mirren. We have.
I think that's it. Dosha, Mirren,
Well, now we have James and
Ellen.
Ellen.
Everyone else is either dead or kidnapped.
Oh, you know who else is kind of hanging out? Although he hasn't been.
Calathar is, I think.
Yeah,
said he's popping
Calathar is
around.
still in the area.
Oh, okay.
Did you? I thought you invited him to stay at the keep, or am I misremembering?
I am pretty sure at some point I had extended an invitation that if he needs to, he could pop by. We have
Yeah. So Calathar is the green dragon that they are
you-
allies with, though he's
Did
in
you include
human
him in
form.
your enchantment?
He would, I don't think, would be affected by the enchantment because it's only extra-planal beings.
Oh, I see. It's not a specific.
Yeah.
Specific
It's-
individuals. Okay.
It's like no fays, celestials, no outer plane. It's like certain creatures are barred from entering that area.
I see. Okay. So, okay.
So, Mungus, I think, here's the debate on whether they should go or stay, and just looks and says, we can't guarantee your safety out there or in here, but we can have better means of protecting you if you come with us.
What about?
It's a book.
What do you guys think about? If we haven't already, let's tell Calathar what we learned about ley lines and stuff. And he may have interest. He may have insight in this. He may be willing to help protect, our NPCs. Like let's bring him into our confidence and see what he would like to say or do.
Sure. So Calathar is usually at the local tavern. Here, I'll go back to the city map for this. He has stopped by a few times. He at first was a little standoffish, but he liked all the money that staying at the manor was saving him. So
if he's not at the manor, can we send a messenger to get him or something?
yeah, sure. So I'll say he maybe shows up later on that morning.
While they do that, LJ would go to the ship after Nathaniel gets them and drops off most of the stuff in the bag holding.
Fills it with the treasure instead so we can pay for the res.
Yeah. The only
Alright.
thing that's in the bag would be the Shield Plus 2, which was mine, which was the Witch Ring another party member I can't
Onyx.
remember the name.
Onyx.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the Platinum Bars.
All right. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You're probably going to do what I was going to say anyway.
I was just gonna say Calathar would, show up later on that morning. He comes in and asks, "You called for me?"
Yes. So I would ask James and Ellen and Mirren and of course all of the party to kind of join up and be present for this conversation if they're not. And I don't want to necessarily roleplay it all out, but I would give him a kind of a brief summary of what we've learned, because he would already know about Scarlet having been kidnapped if he's been staying with us, right? So I would just kind of fill him in
Yeah.
on kind of the some of the additional details and revelations that we've had in our most recent encounters. And
All right, so he kind of listens to you as you tell your story, nods, and says, "I didn't know humans could read ley lines. I thought that was only something that my people could do."
is it common among dragons?
He says, "Well, dragons have an uncanny ability to channel the flows of magic, even young ones. We can't manipulate it as well as humans and humanoids, as we can only do a few things with it, but reading auras is one of the things many of my people can do."
How interesting.
He says, "And your people, from what I understand, looking to Nasira."
Yes, so I have been told. I myself do not sense the magic as these do. She'll gesture to Mirren and Ellen. But I've known another human who could sense the magic. Not see it well, but sense it. Can you, Calathar?
This is to a point. I don't see as much detail as some. I just can sense the presence of the ley lines a lot of times, but it's hard to focus on the details.
Understood. We are facing a decision. We must go and see what can be done for our comrade Onvir. And I wish to make some haste in departing soon this afternoon. But we wonder about the safety of any who stay behind here at the manor. Traveling with us could have dangers, but also remaining behind, we fear another attack on the town.
He says, "Well,
Any others searching for?"
the last time your manor was attacked, I was not here living full time. If I am here, I swear that I will defend this manor from any attackers." He says, "They will not breach your walls again."
This is what I hoped that you might be willing to do. And Dosha and Seal have...
Dosha looks really
stay as
nervous,
well.
kind of staring at the dragon in human form. He just nods. He says, "Yes, we shall defend this place, my ally." And the dragon just looks down at him. Says,
Aw.
"Yes, indeed."
Well, then I'll look back to James, Alan, Mirren, and I'll say, this is, the most protection I think we can muster for you at this time, and you are welcome to journey with us or remain.
So, James, still feeling, or James seems a little distant in all this. Let me see, what are your passive insights?
Oh, jeez.
Uh,
It used to be good.
So, Nasira, you would get the feeling that he is, something's bothering him. Where's his picture?
James, what is it that crosses your mind? You seem pensive.
He says, I failed to protect my friend when the time came. He says, I haven't fully forgiven myself for that. My apologies. He says, "I will not fail you all again."
Do I believe that's all there is to it?
Go ahead, Mungus. What were you saying?
I said, I looked at James and say, "You can't win the next battle if you're fighting the last one. If you keep dwelling on the last battle, you can't win the next one."
Give me a persuasion check.
I keep forgetting that his name isn't really James and that we've learned his
I
real
was
name
gonna
is
say-
Davian.
I was gonna say, isn't his real name Davian?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
Everyone just keeps
never
calling him
know as
James.
James. I call him Davian.
Yeah.
I call him.
I call him James when we're talking to NPCs because that's what they know him as.
Well,
Alright.
the other group.
I double clicked it on accident.
Oh.
This one's a 10.
Yeah, that's fine. So he nods and he says, "You're right, Mungus. I'm trying to focus on the future. It's hard sometimes. I'll be okay. I'll get past it." He says, I would be dead if you all hadn't saved me. He says, who knows what that spirit or that darkness wished to do with myself and Ellen. And Ellen sort of pats him on the back and smiles. And she says, you did everything you could. No one holds it against you. You were under impossible odds. We all were. He says, you couldn't have taken all those mercenaries. You would have just gotten yourself killed. You did what you had to do. He says, as Mungus said, it's best I focus on the future. And he kind of nods at you, Mungus. He says, are you sure that none of you will need help on the road?
We cannot be sure of anything, but I believe that it is important that you are safe and able to recover from your ordeals. So, of course, you are most welcome to journey with us, and we may have even some use for the insights of Mirren and Ellen's abilities. But we are, I think, singularly focused today on reaching this temple and discovering what can be done for Onvir before we resume thoughts of the other quests.
Alethar says, boy, you need to stay and defend these people. The mercenaries will be fine without you. Says you almost lost the girl once. You should not separate from her, especially right now. I might need your help. He nods.
We are settled then.
Calithar nods. He says, I will watch over your manor. These Steel Shadow will not breach the walls again. Of this you have my word. Even though you lost me in the Hells at one point, I figure I could do you this favor.
Is that where you went?
Says, yes, that's where I went, you sons of bitches. I told you all this.
Oh, I guess you did. It's weird to think that you went to the actual Hells.
Says, no
Look, if I
thanks.
could have done something, I would have.
He just growls a little.
This was just completely out of character, but I remember trying to stop him from doing shit with that dog.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Hey, before I feel like we're on our way to leave. Can I ask, is there an armory in this manor?
I mean, the group has a bunch of different armors and weapons, right?
I imagine we probably have like a storeroom or something. I imagine at this point we probably have
We've
to
been
stop
storing
putting
everything
everything
in
on
the
the ship.
We probably
Yeah.
have a weapon.
You guys are hoarders. There's like just newspaper and chainmail everywhere.
Yeah, so what you need?
So we're a
As
D&D
I-
party.
There is a link, pinned link in the main chat that. takes
Oh,
to our
yeah.
tag.
That's right. Did you never get the group sheet?
I don't believe so. No.
So-
Yeah, if you hit the little thumbtack kind of symbol in our main chat, there's a Google Doc in there, and that
In the
has, like,
Discord chat.
Yeah.
Discord chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I pulled out,
it's
what
under the
the-
pin messages. But
So we
yeah,
have a short bow, we have a
I'll-
short bow
I'll
plus
look for
1,
that.
we have
You
a
guys
spear plus
let's keep
2.
moving.
alright, so Mungus is
browse through it. Yeah, browse through that sheet, and if you see something you want, we can assume that you found it at the manor or on the ship while we were in town, and you picked it up and equipped it.
Most of the stuff
Okay.
is on the ship.
yeah, the group has a bunch of random stuff that they've stored at the Grey Manor. I don't
A
know.
lot of it we've forgotten about.
I don't know if you've
Yeah.
gotten any cool armor stands or anything to display some of your trophies. I think it's all just like laying in a room somewhere.
No, but here we do have potions
Yeah, you just
that
have
we
like
haven't
a
used.
pile of potions somewhere.
Yeah,
I think
they're
because we
all-
haven't identified those.
Yeah.
No, they're on the ship identified.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You probably.
4 healing, 1 greater, 1 superior.
Oh, do you guys not want to use those?
Yeah, we should distribute those.
We don't have those with us.
Please put those on people's belts.
So 1 regular healing for everyone, and
Do you have
great.
do you have 4 healing potions or regular
Yeah.
healing? All right, so then yeah, I guess Leo would come out with a bunch of potions and start handing them out. So go ahead and erase those, and each of you get a healing potion. And what else?
One greater and one superior. Can I get Mungus? Can we arm wrestle for who gets the superior and who gets the greater?
I'm fine with this.
Oh, a challenge.
We still haven't got our arm wrestling contest sorted out.
Can we say we
You
did
feel
this?
you feel froggy, LJ? Jump.
Just for the sake of transparency, there are still 2 basic health potions hanging off under his belt.
Oh, well, they're not going to steal your potions, I don't think. So wait,
But just for the sake of saying that.
are Mungus and LJ doing an arm wrestle? Is that
Yeah.
what's happening here? All right.
Yeah, I'm wrestling for the better potion.
Give me athletics checks. I'll say whoever rolls higher wins.
Oof.
Oh, all right. So it's a fierce competition, but Leo Jr. will take the win as he slams Mungus's hand down on the table.
Yeah, still
And-
rage in his eyes from.
I'm going to. I'm also going to give the regular healing potion that LJ just gave me. I'm going to give it to Eldwin because I already have one in my inventory, and Eldwin's in and out of melee and kind of. I don't know. He gets around the battlefield, and I feel like he's a good backliner to. He's a backliner and a frontliner, but he's a good person to have potions on him.
Alright, I'll take it.
Mungus add a greater healing potion. A potion of a greater healing. That's what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure you record it in your inventory.
All right, and you
Why
take
do we have
the.
drought poison? What? Potion of invincibility, potion of gaseous form.
We
potion
found
of-
a lot of potions.
potions. Another potion of healing.
Well, do you want to do anything for them?
Yeah,
What?
distribute them. If we've got that many potions, let's distribute them. You say there's did you say gaseous form, invisibility?
Wait,
And
guys,
what
just
else?
form.
Yeah, a potion of wave climbing, a potion of gaseous form, potion of invisibility, and another potion of healing.
All right. So who wants? I think invisibility and gaseous form should go to 2 different people. But who thinks it might be useful to have those?
It would either be someone of the front liner, so Eldon, me, or Mungus.
I honestly feel like invisibility might be better for Nasira because I feel like
Yeah,
if anyone
invisibility would
out
go
and
to
about,
Nasira.
it's gonna be her.
Well, I'll put it in my inventory and carry it. She won't be able to. She'll lose the invisibility if she attacks. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but-
I feel like if anyone here is going to be
So-
the stealthy, scouty type, it would be you.
It would be more useful on a stealther, generally speaking.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll put that
so-
in my inventory.
I think
Uh,
she's our best stealther, really.
Yeah, so we have another potion of healing, which I'm gonna hand back to Nasira,
Okay, I've got 2 now. That's good.
and one wave of climbing and one of gaseous form.
Gaseous form, I think, is a more strategic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be very situational.
So,
but yeah,
Paul-
let's put it in somebody's inventory.
I mean,
Eldwin?
Potions
I
aren't
don't
very
know.
heavy. We could just leave that one in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, just know that if it's in the bag, it does take longer to get to if you need it. That's the
And
only
Nasira's
downside.
definitely-
It's
Yeah,
definitely
I
not
don't
an
know.
in the
Yeah,
moment.
action.
It's not an
I-
in the moment potion.
Well, if you're at 1 HP,
Could be.
you know,
True,
you want to become a cloud. It definitely
I
I'm sorry,
could be.
James, again, what is the potion that I was given? Potion of what?
Greater healing.
Great.
Greater.
Greater
I got
healing.
the
Okay.
superior. That's what I want.
And you got 1 normal healing potion, from what I
Yeah.
remember. So
Potion-
greater.
Yeah.
Another potion of greater healing.
So I think the potion label climbing should either go to LJ or Mungus. Probably me due to my high strength.
Well,
Actually, honestly,
Just
actually should go to the person who has the least strength because they're
yeah,
going to
the
be
people
the
who
person who
can't climb
struggles
well,
with
it would
climbing.
let
True.
them.
would
yeah.
that either go to Nasira or Eldon?
And
It would
Nasira
probably go
doesn't
to. It would probably go to
Nasira
me.
can climb walls very well.
Yeah,
I was going to
monks,
say, I'm
monks
pretty
can
sure
climb
monks
well.
can climb with Dex, so
So
I
to
think
Eldon to this.
Alright, so Elwin
Yeah.
gets the climbing potion. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll take that for now.
Uh,
I can't like
What?
later. I can take a.
And
spell
you
that-
guys did all level up, right? From the last game?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at 11 now, right?
Oh my god. We haven't felt the love.
Actually, I do have a question about that because I held off on taking one of my spells, just because I forgot to ask you this beforehand. But for the spell Teleportation Circle, it says that I'd learn to teleportation circles based off of your discretion.
Yeah, sure. So,
I will say, you know for a fact that you can't have one of them inside the manor.
Well, I'd have to make the circle first.
Yeah, but it can't be inside the manor because I made the manor a no teleportation zone.
So Among Us, you just looking for a breed of weapon upgrade?
No, I actually was looking for an extra hand axe, or something to give one of these guys to say, "Hey, hold down the fort while we're gone."
We have Light Crossbow +1, Magical Greatsword +1, Magical Maul +1, Old Elven Spear +2, Short Sword bow +1.
Well,
Is this magical maul? Is that a two-handed or one-handed weapon?
Maul is two-handed. It's a two-handed and it's a heavy.
And apparently we have a Wand of the War Mage. Just
oh, that's pretty nice.
+1.
For casters, yeah. Also, I think we have equipped Dosha with a couple magic items and some magic ammo, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
I don't.
Dosha has a magic bow and dagger.
Yeah. And I think maybe even some magic arrows. I can't remember.
yeah,
We might have given
Dosha.
him some of the unbreakable, but those
Dosha's-
might have been stolen by Val.
He's got the magic trip. He's ready.
And
Might
then we
still
have
have a couple of health potions too.
we have a snake golden statue that's still on Soul's back.
Oh yeah, we
well,
thought about the
we
statue.
would have
Uh,
dropped it.
You
Yeah,
would-
we would have dropped it when we got here to the manor, so we can sell it later.
Yeah,
It'll-
on the
or-
ship it goes.
So, to
What about your
answer,
statue? Did that come back up
your
or not?
question, Eldwin, about the circles, there is one in the Devil's Hearth, actually. As that building was here before the colony was founded, and there was already a teleportation circle that was in it.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, so there's one here.
There is one within Candle in the Devil's Hearth.
Nice.
It's not something that comes up often, because no one really uses it.
So we also have 3 unidentified potions.
Are you just making stuff up now?
No,
So
No,
we
I
also
knew
have
about
a
those.
wish scroll.
we
Just-
Talking about, we have a ring of 3 wishes.
Just pulling stuff out now. Oh, look at all these potions. Do you know what session these are from?
84.
All right, I'll say you had time to identify them, even though no one said they were doing it. We could say
I
over the
remember us
evening.
bringing those potions up last session, actually.
Yeah, I do. We haven't. I know we
Wait,
hadn't
from
identified them.
84?
84
Yeah, that's
though.
like 2 sessions ago or something.
3.
84.
I remember us getting them, but we
Maybe
didn't.
one of those chests we opened in the caverns or something.
I think it was.
Yeah, it must be. I don't have anything here, so I'm just gonna random generate them.
I assume that would more than likely be like from the little stronghold where we found Mungus.
Oh yeah, I think we did find a couple potions there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I might have just not jotted them down. Give me 3 d10 rolls. I'll take the first 3 d10s that are rolled.
Should we do one from the dead man? Yep.
I get the number 1 too.
1, 10, and
10,
2.
Okay.
I kind of wish the little menu with the little dice roller that's in the top left corner of the screen. I kind of wish it was down here in the bottom right corner near the chat.
That would
Yeah.
Be, that would
Get
be
that.
so useful.
That would make too much sense.
when I'm on my
Yeah, I
great
would
big
agree
huge
with that.
monitor, when I'm on my great big huge monitor, it's like a lot of real estate, and I don't use a mouse, I use a trackpad, so I'm like getting over to one corner and then getting all the way through the other corner.
Oil
Oh.
sharpness? What?
Isn't that the oil you can put on a mundane weapon to make it +1 or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Dibs.
Looking it up.
Dibs. He claimed it.
Uh,
Claimed.
This
Suited.
oil can coat 1 slashing or piercing weapon or up to 5 pieces of slashing or piercing ammunition. Applying the oil takes 1 minute for 1 hour. The coated item is magical and has a +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls.
Ooh.
So yeah, those are the 3 things you get.
Cool.
2 climbing.
So, should we just hand it out to...
I guess.
Elven?
Yeah. Let's give one of the climbing to Nathaniel. If he gets an
Yeah,
attack,
give-
that-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, give one to Nathaniel, and I guess I'll hold on to the second one.
Give 1 to Nathaniel and put 1 on Onrid's belt.
Well, that's what I said. I'll hold on to the second one because, like,
I'd say give the sharpness to Mungus, but he uses a bludgeoning weapon.
Yeah, I think mine... I think the long sword would be better since...
That only gives you an additional +1 though.
yeah, it only
plus-
gives.
It's a
'Cause it-
+3.
It makes your weapon a +3.
Nathaniel says,
Better than
are
nothing.
we ready to go? There's a lot of bookkeeping we're doing. I was getting yelled at last night that I had to do this. Now you guys are going through all our
Well,
stuff.
presumably we were doing this while we were sitting around waiting for Nathaniel. But
Yeah.
can you clarify, Lou, on would this be +3 in addition to what his weapon already has?
No, it
Or
would just
would-
make it a +3 weapon. So whatever it is, it would turn into that if you use
So
the
plus
oil.
2 to +3.
Yeah, it doesn't become a +5.
It's not a big
Because
damage
effects
increase,
don't
but
that.
it's not a big damage increase, but it's a damage increase.
Piercing weapon or 5 pieces of
It would either
slashing
be
or
better
piercing
on
ammo.
Eldrin or myself. With Eldrin's spinning blade.
You're always in melee. I can be in either melee or range, so I'm fine with you taking it.
It depends on what Manga says. I think he pointed it up.
Does he have a Mungus? Do you have slashing or piercing weapons?
He actually has
hand
a-
axe.
A Frail?
Yeah.
which
Sorry,
I
say
think
that
is-
again.
I have a hand axe, so no, it would probably be better off in one of your other hands. Can I just hold on to it for now?
You're not going to drink it, are you? Nathaniel says. Sorry, that was a
Okay,
very
Make me
Nathaniel thing to.
sharp-minded.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Gonna drink it,
that's
are
enough
you?
for now.
Wait, you said you're.
If
so
you
Mun-
dare me to.
So Mungus is taking it for now, and you're gonna put it in your inventory.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
can
just
have
make-
it on for now, and we can just dip.
It's a very
Alright, so
shiny
yeah.
bottle.
So we finished our chat with Kalathar and the other NPCs and gather up our stuff, and Nasira is moving. Do we?
Your second teleportation circle you need, right?
I was about to,
Yeah.
I was about to ask. Like, the reason I brought this up because I'm like, part of me is like hoping this is a big enough temple or near a big enough city, but it's up to you.
Probably not. Your second teleportation circle could be a location in the Garoth Empire, the Dwarven Empire, which is very far away. So yeah, you could teleport there if you
That's
wanted to.
not where the fox hearts are, right?
No, they're in
No,
the
And
Darrock.
human empire.
Darrock.
So I say we just dip, head off.
Are we
Let's
carrying
go.
Onvir, or are we leaving? Yeah, I assume we're carrying Onvir, right?
Mungus.
Yes,
okay.
Okay.
he's on my back.
All right, let's go.
Strapped to Mungus.
I'm just like in a baby Bosset.
Alright, so the group is traveling through the caves.
I love that I now basically have an instant. I
Get the fuck
I know-
out card.
have an instant get out, but I also have an instant go to a place that was definitely not intended.
And then go back to Candle. You could
Yeah.
go there to like look for things to
Shop?
buy and then head back to Candle. They probably have better items there.
That's true. Could we've said since I took this, I grabbed just 100 gold pieces worth of the materials.
You can also use arcane components.
Oh, I can use arcane. Yeah, never mind then,
Yeah.
because we have a bunch of those.
I also dropped a bunch of platinum balls.
Alright. So, to journey through the caves, I need someone to guide the group, which is going to be a survival check. Do we have any people who want to be the guides?
+0.
I'm proficient in survival
Oh, apparently.
and did a
Alright, so
not as proficient as Assyria apparently.
So Nasira and Mungus work together, guiding the group through the caves. Let me check to see how this trip goes. Nasira, living in this... You've lived in this area a little while, right?
We never actually decided where
Alright,
Sarah
so-
was, but she's been in the
so-
caves all her life.
Yeah, we'll say you've been through this area a couple times, so navigating these
And she was
caves...
traveling a while looking for the person she was looking for, yeah.
The Mungus. Give me a D100 roll.
No.
Oh God.
Jeez.
Oh no. That's not good.
Double 100 or a 1.
So wait, I do roll.
Well, the easiest... The,
100.
so the easiest way is to just...
44.
Okay, well, yeah, that
did
works
it.
too. But there is just the dice icon you can click, and then one of the dice is a D100 on the left of the screen.
Got it.
44. Let's see.
I love when the dice roller, there's just a fudge option.
I was like, what? Is that what I think it is?
So Nasira,
Mm-hmm.
see, you have a 17 passive.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
As you're traveling through the caves, you think you see something moving at the edge of the party's light. You think someone is watching you. You may have picked up a tail while going through the caves. This is during the first day of travel.
Okay.
You don't see exactly who it is or where they are, but you believe, yeah, that someone might be following you.
Okay. So they're like a good, like a kind of around 60 feet from us.
Yeah, kind of at the edges of your light sources
So
right
I
now.
would be able to discreetly kind of move, like as we're walking, I'll kind of move close to different party members and tell everyone what I noticed, but I'll do so in a way that's subtle, so you know, maybe not make it obvious that I'm watching for that movement. I'm kind of aware of
probably
something.
say back. Oh, I don't want to tell Mungus.
Uh,
See what Mungus have done.
give me deception or stealth.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's go with.
Yes.
She's better at stealth.
Stealth should be
Yeah.
good.
So you are stealthily warning the group that someone might be watching you. Whoever it is, you don't... Well, you've been traveling for a bit and you haven't seen them again. You're all kind of on the lookout now. What do you want to do? Do you want to just keep going? Do you want to stop and try to look for them? Like, what's the plan?
I want to. I wrote we continue moving towards our destination.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so you
Can I
can...
just do a perception? I just want to take one look and see if I see it.
Yeah, sure. Give me an active perception. It's Mungus, Although, wait, if you do
So
that...
wise.
Well,
Shit.
yeah, so you're kind of looking around. No, it just looks like dark caves to you.
No, I'll still do one.
Keep moving.
Yeah, if you all start looking, though, you might give away the fact that, like, you know, because Nasira hid this from whoever's watching you.
Can I discreetly
So-
look?
Yeah, if you want, give me a, I guess, deception. If you want to try to do this discreetly. A deception roll.
Was nothing.
Okay. So yeah, you and Mungus are kind of looking around. but now you just see darkness and caves.
Just for the sake of
The,
transparency.
yeah.
Do you have a +5 perception, or have you put that because of your +5 extra passive from the shield? Don't you have a flat modifier to your wisdom?
No. I have a 10 in wisdom. And
Yeah.
the shield gives me +5.
Yeah, so
Are
the
No,
you-
it doesn't. It doesn't give you +5. It gives you advantage.
that's
It
true.
gives +5
Oh.
to your passive, not to your active.
Yeah, not to your active.
Wait, when?
So you
It's
shouldn't
effective-
you shouldn't
Yeah.
record that as a +5. It should just be you have advantage. And then if I'm considering, so like you should change your passive to 15, which you have on the number you recorded. But yeah, with
so
the
his natural roll was 16 for the percent.
isn't it 21?
No, because he's got a +5 when he should be flat.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it shouldn't be a
Modifier.
+5. All right, so
Wait.
16. So yeah, no, you're both looking around in the dark, but either this person moved on, or or they're very good at hiding.
And I didn't notice them until we'd been traveling for a while. So they might have encountered us along the way and not necessarily followed us from Candle, or do I have any insight on that?
You wouldn't know. You just kind of noticed
Right.
them for a
That's-
moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's keep moving, but like, keep on your toes. Let's make sure we don't walk into a trap.
Okay. So you continue traveling. Thankfully, due to Mungus and Nasira's extremely good survival checks, you would reach the temple by the end of the day.
Nice.
So... Sorry, one sec. This isn't working like it's supposed to. Well, anyway. Bang. So, yeah, you come to a very large cavern with water kind of flowing through, and you see a kind of multi-layered stone temple built into the side of the cave, extending up 30 or so feet, with a bunch of priests, multiple entrances, and like I said, kind of water flowing through a garden area. As you approach, a couple of the priests walk towards you with weapon in hand. One of them says, "Identify yourselves."
I look at Nathaniel.
And they stop suddenly, noticing Mungus and the person he's carrying on them. One of them says, "Anvir, what have you done?"
No,
The-
Anvir is wrapped in a shroud, so I'm carrying Anvir kind of in the front, holding him out like a baby, not on the shoulder or anything. And
Oh, okay.
I'm
so
swaddled.
He's
Uh,
I look at them and I say, "Fix him. Fix
Hey.
our friend."
They kind of look at each other. Bring him quickly, and they motion for you to follow them.
We follow.
Yeah.
All right, so you are brought into a temple area, ushered through the main door into kind of a large hall. Where is it?
And I cannot. Oh, yep, there it is.
There is a large angelic-looking statue to the left of you as you come through. It's not shown here, but there are a couple of priests in the hall who these guys kind of run over to and start talking with. And a moment later, a woman approaches you. What would she look like to them?
So for all of you present, you would see an extremely old high elf. Like probably the oldest high elf any of you have ever seen.
Mhm.
And she has a almost similar dyeing to Onvia, where she has this braided hair, but two of the braids are kind of almost faded, dyed purple. And she's wearing very elegant robes and has this deep, dark blue staff with tons of little purple gems and accents on it. And she's carrying like a little storybook.
So the older woman, or the older elf woman, rushes towards you all. She doesn't have her book, but she does have her staff. And she comes up. She says,
Do I kneel?
She says, "What happened, Anvir?" And she rushes up and looks over him. He's not breathing.
I look over at Nathaniel and go, tell her.
Nathaniel,
I would actually
yeah, go ahead. You could step forward.
I
I don't know this woman. Don't tell me what to do. Go ahead, Eldwin. What are you gonna say? I would rather not roleplay with myself anyway, so that's fine. You can talk.
I would actually step up and it's like Anvir's a dear friend of mine, of all of ours. We were venturing together, trying to save some people who were kidnapped, and came to blows with someone possessed by a fiend, and unfortunately Anvir was felled in the battle.
He saved my life, now I save his.
She says, "You are the Grey Wanderers."
You told her about us?
Yes, I have. Wait, had you been in contact with her? I'm just kind of ad hocing a little. I assumed you had.
We hadn't ever role played it, but I like to think that every now and then Onvia would send a couple of messages when he had the spells free and.
All right.
Go there.
So she nods. She says, "I've heard much about your group, though obviously we have never met. It's good to finally meet all of you." She forces a smile and looks over Anvir. She looks to you, Mungus, and she says, "Bring him in." And she would kind of lead you over to the northwest. I assume you're going to follow her?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm right behind her.
All right, so she leads you into a side chamber where it looks like there is an altar of some kind, and she says, lay him out on the altar." And she starts looking through some of her components and books over here. So I assume you're going to put the body down there?
Yes.
Alright. She sighs. She says, "Long ago, I had a vision from the stars of this day, but I didn't know exactly what it meant until now. Did not know if he had died or if something else had happened." She says, "I take some comfort in knowing I might be able to save him from his fate." She says, "I thank you all for bringing him here."
We came here as fast as we could.
She says, "I believe you did."
Help? Is there anything you require?
So she starts to lay out her implements. Let me look at something.
You're looking at the price of. Because I know how much it will cost to revive me if that's what you're looking up.
Money.
She says, "Well, it's not money. Do you have components? Do you have
money just components?
Do you have divine components by any chance?"
There are some in Anvir's pack, I believe, and
It would
do we
all
LJ?
in-
LJ, do we have
all
any?
in Andre's hat.
He
yeah.
took all of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the only one that could use them, so we
Okay.
gave them all to him.
How many does he have? Does he have the 500?
I have 683.
All right. So, looking through his pack, you find his component area where Presented to her, she nods and she says, yes, this should be enough, taking 500 worth. So yeah, go ahead and minus that. She says, I have high hopes that the stars will send him back to me, but this sort of magic always carries a bit of uncertainty. I'll need an hour to perform this ritual. And I'll also need to be alone in here, no disturbances. If you all wouldn't mind waiting outside, you are free to walk the grounds as you wish, but I just need time and a little bit of luck now.
Very well.
Well,
She
go punch a tree.
she nods and starts going to work. So it is currently, just so we can get the times right. It
I want to
is
think Mungus is like the last one that leaves, like lingers a little too long at the final door.
all right. So it's about 10:30
Sorry.
p.m. time wise, just FYI. It's like moonlight outside. So Mungus, you linger a little while. What are you gonna do as you see the Tiris Lynn kind of setting up all these implements and getting her ritual ready?
I just take one last look and I guess shut whatever door, rock, or needs to be shut, and look at the team and say, is there a bar nearby?
Alright, so you close the door, leaving her to her ritual.
Is there a bit of a town or settlement or lodgings near this temple, or is it just a single building?
Are you gonna ask one of the priests? I mean, you didn't see anything coming in.
Yeah, well, based on Mungus's question and the fact that it's late and we're all probably tired and hungry, like I would approach one of the
So
priests I see and just ask if there's a place for us to get refreshments.
you would actually recognize some of these people as being monks as well as priests. It looks like there's a collection of both. But one of the first people you approach is a monk, and he would say, we are fairly self-sufficient here, but we welcome you to stay, of course, while how do you say it, Trislin?
Trislin, yes.
Trislin, while Trislin performs the ritual, and overnight if you need to. We have beds, and we can set you up someplace with accommodations. We have a quartermaster if you need supplies, whatever is needed for your trip.
Okay. I think Mungus looks over and says, he pulls out a couple of fine wine bottles and said, snag these from the inventory. Anyone want to drink them here, or is it okay if we drink some wine here?
Is that the expensive elven wine?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where'd you guys get
It says
that? I
fine
forget.
bottles.
We got it a while ago.
I think
Yeah,
I was
you-
in the prison.
Yeah, you've been
Nathaniel-
carrying those around a
Nathaniel
while.
used some of them for schmoozing, and yeah, we've still got some left.
It's time for a party.
It was definitely during the main raid of the Milk.
Well, I
That-
think at the moment
That is
it's a
some
little
expensive
more of a-
stuff. But yeah,
Isn't it like 200 a bottle?
yeah I
We're
don't.
resurrecting our friend. Let's go to a campfire and
It's
down
party.
this bottle and talk about Onvir and like. I feel like
Let's
that's
talk about
our part of
Onvir
this
and how
ritual.
none of you guys know nothing about Onvir.
So, clarification: we only have one fine wine bottle
All right, well,
and two
Mungus.
fine open wine barrels.
All right, so I'm assuming he took the bottle,
Yep.
unless
wine
Mungus just like
Primo.
pulled out a keg from his backpack and is really gonna party.
He is a Goliath.
Yeah.
Elder would go outside, find some trees, and start chopping it down, doing some training, quote unquote.
All right,
We're
so
just gonna chop down their trees.
I'm mad.
so Mungus. Yeah, where are you finding trees, buddy? You're in the underground.
Shroomwood.
The heck is that?
A bunch of monsters are like, what is that he's punching?
I'm actually
I'm
going
gonna
to
do some
start.
training
I'm going to
outside,
start
quote,
a
unquote.
campfire. I think Mungus is going to go start a campfire, and then open the bottle of wine, take one swig, look to whoever's gonna like holds the ball out to the rest of the group and says, "Who's joining me?"
I assume you're starting the campfire outside, right?
Yes, we were outside the monastery. We're in the monastery grounds at this point. I'm assuming.
All right.
Yeah.
As you guys start, I guess, heading for outside, Ellen will just hang back and just go, "You guys go on ahead. I think I'm gonna stay here for a bit," and he'll walk back and post up right in front of the door.
Like
that-
where Trislin is?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So you're kind of guarding over that.
Yeah. Eldred
I
is
keep
gonna
Eldwin in my
undo
eye
shit
line
and go
as I'm
outside.
setting up the. I set up a eye line with Eldwin of like running distance, so wherever I can start a campfire from where he is, that's where
All right.
Mungus
So
would like to.
you're sort of outside, keeping an eye on the front door of the temple. There is a nice stream nearby, so if you want to sit down and start drinking. Sorry, give me one moment. But yeah, we can start doing that.
So, Eldrin's guarding the door. Eldrid's releasing his anger.
Punching
I'm sorry,
cables.
training.
All right, I'm back.
Mungus is drinking. What is Nasira doing? I'm curious.
Nasira would kind of walk across the grounds to, with Mungus and watch him set up his fire and plop down and pop open the wine. Should pour a glass or a tankard or whatever receptacles we have on us from our meal kits, mess kits. And then she's actually she'll pour herself a glass, but she's probably just gonna kind of sort of pace, sort of wander the grounds, kind of back and forth between like the temple entrance and like just kind of wander the grounds and like watch for movements back, where the ritual is being taken place. Yeah, she's contemplative and sipping wine.
I will also say, as all of you are like starting to like sit around and do stuff around the temple, you probably start to realize why this place is not in any main towns, as there a large quantity of the people here are drow.
Okay.
There is pretty much every elf variety in this temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
so-
probably more elves than any of you have ever seen in one place.
Yeah, pretty much every single. I don't think there is a single person in this temple that isn't at least half elf.
What about LJ since he was born Elven?
Was he born in a city or more of like a town?
City.
So, I don't think you were born in an elven city, because those aren't really a thing down here. But you, even probably in your town, there probably weren't too many elves. They're probably mixed with other races. Like it.
The LJ is older than Kendall Home.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're an elf, it's easy for you to be older than Candle. But yeah, generally, I mean, I don't know. Did you come from a large settlement of elves in your background?
Like on video session ago, I really haven't figured that out. Well,
All right, so yeah,
sort of, but
it's more likely that your family was probably one of only a few elven families in your settlement, because there aren't too many groupings outside of the Drow Empire. It's not known much about what happened to the elven peoples during the fires.
so this is probably the most elves I've seen.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so time is passing. Mungus is drinking. Nasira is probably, I don't know, are you drinking with him? Like, what?
She's just having the one. She poured herself a glass, but she's really more just kind of watching for when she's contemplative and pacing and watching for activity back where the ritual is.
Mungus is getting drunk, and you're kind of just there teetotaling on the one glass for like an hour.
This
Look,
wine.
I want to be clear. Mungus took a sip and then built a fire, so like he's not just chugging this fancy elven wine. Mungus understands like there's good. He was a mercenary.
He's a
you
man
know,
of
so
of class.
There have been times Mungus has been in rooms where he knew the generals were drinking elven wine and he was on suds. So like, yeah, he's partaking in it, but he's not like, he knows that this is the good stuff. He's not hogging it and just downing it.
Also, if you're
Yeah.
gonna drink fine elven wine, this is the place to do it. Surrounded by elves.
So, yeah, if you have any knowledge of wine, this is probably one of the best wines you've tasted. Give me an Arcana check, untrained.
Oh.
Jeez.
We
That's
just been
not
giving
sure.
away magical night wine this entire time.
Goliaths are notorious for their sommelier program.
Exactly. Hmm.
Not even
got-
just
It's
Goliath.
got a woody,
Barbarian.
a woody
Oh, this wine
profile.
tastes like wine.
What a woody.
It's got a woody profile to
Oh,
it.
jeez.
Hmm. Oh,
Oh,
What did I
no.
get?
all right. Well,
It's definitely very unique to anything he's ever tasted.
It's,
Yeah.
it's very good wine. I'll give you that.
Most appropriate like thing for a barbarian Goliath to do. Drinking Elven wine's get a nat 1.
Were you there when they found this wine, Nasira? Probably not, right?
No, because
No.
Otto carried it around in his vessel for a while.
So you,
Can I actually see? Is this stuff messing me up? Because I want to do a Constitution check, and if I really fail,
People have
that,
drunk it
then-
before.
have they? I thought this one was
Daniel
unopened.
drank it.
Not the bottled one.
No, this one I don't think you
Not
opened
the
before.
bottle.
It was
No,
the
'cause
barrels
we had-
that.
We had more than one bottle.
You had the barrels.
Things.
The
Actually,
barrels.
I think you're right. I think we had more bottles. I think that Daniel used one of the barrels, and I think he used some of the bottles for his like schmoozing.
Probably.
Is this getting me drunk, or am I just?
No,
is it
actually,
messing me up, or-
it's. I mean, so you've only had a little bit, right? You've had like a few glasses, maybe, or a glass. It's hard to even taste the alcohol on this. This is a very like smooth drink. And actually, Nasira, you might think that this particular bottle has, well, they all had magical enchantment on them to keep them from like spoiling, but this one you feel might be a little bit unique.
Oh.
Give me an Arcana check. I'll let you make one as well.
Untrained, but,
So
yeah.
that-
Oh, do you have any
Wine.
history with wine, like in your background?
Actually, yes. She is fond of the finer things in life and has some.
All right, so yeah, give me an
experience with
Arcana
fine
check. Then.
art and fine tailoring and fine wines and foods. Yeah.
You might have some insight
The
here.
History.
Arcana.
Arcana. Okay.
Let's see this. Oh.
Oh.
You know what's
Uh,
funny? This means you're stupider than the barbarian, technically. You have a -1, he has a
Here's a
plus
plus
one.
one. Lungus says, "Don't assume things," as he reads like his Science Weekly.
This is smarter than the
Room
average
temperature cold fusion.
person. Using D&D logic, Mungus is smarter
wait, what
than the
is it?
average person.
Yep.
Exactly. He's a smart guy for a 15-foot tall giant man, or however tall he is.
He is as intelligent as I am.
Yeah.
He's smarter than me.
Actually, no, that's not true. I have a +2.
So yeah, you believe that there might be some sort of enchantment on this wine beyond the preservation, because it is very smooth and yeah, it's you think drinking more of it might do something for you beyond just the buzz it's giving you.
I mean, I would kind of wander over. Eldwin, you said you were standing outside the door to the temple, right? Or were you actually in the temple outside the room where it's happening?
I'm outside the room.
Oh, okay. All right, then yeah, I would, I guess, go back over to Mungus's fire and just kind of say, give observations about the wine. Like, most interesting. I sense perhaps some magic. I don't know. This is very, very fine.
So, Eldwin's guarding the door. LJ is rage train. Mungus is whatever Mungus is doing. Nasira's wine
Guarding the
tasting.
main door.
Main door. This is the fun shit I would have.
Yeah, Mungus, LJ, you said you're trying to chop down shroomwood or something?
I am rage training.
Alright, you're
whatever
rage training.
training.
You're up on one of the hills attacking their shroomwood, making a bunch of the monks concerned. What
I'll
is
go
that guy
ahead and,
doing up there?
I'll go ahead and have a second glass when I finish my first, since it's particularly fine and I may not have such wine again anytime soon.
All right, so
I think
you.
Mungus would walk up, would take the bottle and walk up to LJ Rage Training and just say, "Hey, you need to take a break in training and let me have a go at this thing." So swap.
LJ walks past, grabs the bottle, and says, "Yup, buddy," as he downs a swig.
You gonna? Oh, you're taking a swig. You're not downing the bottle.
Oh no.
All right.
Yet.
Sure. So you take a swig of this stuff.
Yeah,
Very
yes.
smooth, very smooth, very tasty. Probably not what. Probably.
Size bottle.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably not what LJ would be used to drinking, because, like, it's actually tastes good. I don't know. Is LJ a wine guy? He strikes me more as like
no.
a beer guy, or
No, he's a water guy.
Like,
Or, beer guy.
yeah. So
Yeah,
he just takes a swig. He's like, is there any alcohol in this?
Where's my ale?
Yeah.
Actually, with LJ drinking that, I'm gonna do something on Trey. So I'm gonna take a little break while this is happening. LJ would go to one
Stole
of the
the bottle.
monks or priests after he gives the bottle back to Nacero,
Oh, okay.
and ask, is there someone else besides name that I cannot think of, the old elden woman?
Trislin.
Trislin.
Who would be like the second in command or someone like her.
So sorry. You walk up to the monks and ask what now?
Is there like a second in command besides Trislin, since she's preoccupied?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Who's next in line since this one's occupied? Who's her next reporter? Like the person that reports to her. That who's that person?
Yeah, that's her.
All right. So Mungus, I think you're still knocking down the shroom woods, right? At this point.
Yeah.
But I guess Anvir, do you have someone in mind for like a second in command of this place?
I did make up a mock-up character that I had no real attachment to. I just kind of made him in case I needed a second character who was like the kind of head paladin kind of guy.
Is he in the journal?
He wasn't. He's not like in my. He wasn't even in the background. He was kind of somebody I had in case.
All right.
I need somebody like that.
Well, what is his name?
I am actually double checking that now because I can't even remember what I did.
Well, now you need it.
What if
Harry.
I know a half elf rogue bard that I created, but as like an NPC that could be found in this place? Would there be a rogue bard in a place near this?
Yeah, so I think our head guard would be this guy I'm talking about, who I made called Harris.
He's the head guard, or he would be second in command?
He'd probably be a bit of both. Like I have
Okay.
in my mind, he'd be like, in charge of the buildings and stuff.
So yeah, there could also be a half elf guard, like you were saying, Mungus, who is
Oh, bard. I said bard.
Oh,
not
bard.
guard.
I mean, maybe there's a bard
A rogue
here.
bard?
A bard is probably more likely to travel through a place like this. I don't know if they'd stick around because I guess they could entertain the monks and the priests. So maybe, I mean, there could be someone here like that.
Yeah, if they have traveler lodgings, maybe there's some other travelers that are here at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, is there someone you wanted to bring into the story here?
Yeah. He's a D&D Beyond character I built. He's only at level 2 or level 4, but I mean.
Oh well, he probably would just come in like as part of the narrative. I don't know if he'd start fighting with you all.
No.
But yeah, let me do Anvir's character first. So what's the name of this guy who's second in command?
So his name's Harik.
Harik?
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
give you the most easy to pronounce names. I don't know what you're.
So yeah, one of the monks would answer you, Leo Jr., and would say, "Well, Harrick is our trained paladin of Hildar. I mean, he's usually the one who takes commands directly from Trislin."
And where would be this part?
I think he is. I thought he was out at the moment. I believe he is on a trade mission with some of our people. He might get back later tonight or early in the morning.
If Truslin, if I said that name right, did I honor it?
Trislin,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whichever one gets back first, tell them I want to talk to them in private. I feel like they would be able to help me more.
Yeah, sure. We can get in touch with them and let them know if we see them.
Thank you. And LJ heads back out to do some more drinking.
And I don't know if you have a picture of Harrick.
I put it in the Discord.
Yeah, it's
Is
in
his
the
name
chat.
Harrick?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you.
HARYK.
Yeah, you didn't even spell it.
I'll give you control of the character here if you want to add the picture and stuff. And what was the one that you wanted to bring in here, Mungus?
Wolven von Kluve. He was a character that I kind of started before I created Mungus. We're stepping a little bit out of the into the technical world of introducing characters. So
well, if you
I'm on D&D Beyond right now.
I mean, the stats aren't as important, but if you wanted to do like a story point to meet like a character of yours here, we could do something like that because we're kind of in a temple area that's not part of the part of like a battle or anything.
Okay, so he's a rogue bard. That's a half elf. And I guess maybe he's traveling through and it can be an NPC. But I don't know if I'm dominating this too much to be meta. We can get back to the role play if we want.
No, it's fine. But yeah, let me see if I could. Is this like someone Mungus might just meet off to the side somewhere outside of what's going on?
I mean, he would have played in mercenary bars, I guess. He would recognize Mungus and kind of make his way towards him. Maybe
All right, so maybe
that's up for you to.
Maybe while Mungus is doing the chopping of the shroom wood, this person from your past would kind of come up and introduce, or not introduce, but say hello to you. And yeah, let me get back to that though. Have I seen everyone? Eldwin, are you doing anything besides watching the door?
Actually, he'll stay by the door, like, basically until it opens, but at one point, probably once it gets closer, to the hour mark, Eldon kind of just start, in like a low whisper, he'll just start, talk to himself. It's like, this is weird. Like, it's like, I know I don't do stuff like this much, but I guess this is the place to do it? I don't. It's like, could you, like, Hildar, if you're listening, my friend, Anvir he's definitely, one of the better of these schmucks all around us, myself included. And I've seen the stuff that he can do. He's a very powerful cleric, and he always likes to say that these powers are from you, and if you're as powerful as he says he is, could you help him in this moment?
All right, so you kind of do a prayer to Hildar.
Like it's very awkward. He has no idea what he's doing.
Give me a D100 roll.
Ooh. Then based on that one.
Even the gods listen sometimes. All right, so yeah,
I
you.
thought you were calling all the people in my temple schmucks.
I mean,
Look,
them too.
I mean, I was referring to the party, but
Yeah, I realized that afterwards, but when you first went, all the rest of these schmucks, I'm like, hey, you've only just met these people.
Yeah, I kind of thought that as well. It's like, oh man.
I just sent you. I
after
just
the
sent a PDF to the DM about Wolven von Kluve, the rogue bard that may have moseyed up to the monastery.
All right, or maybe is already here, just traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you say your prayer. Things are going pretty quietly for the group. Mungus is talking to this old friend who recognized him up on the hill, and Leo Jr. is I guess waiting. Nasira is kind of enjoying her drink. Does she have the bottle right now?
Yeah, it sounded like LJ brought it back to me.
Yeah,
so...
LJ
Okay.
gave it back, and LJ is coming at the bottle with
All
the
right.
serum.
So is anyone doing anything else? Otherwise, I'm gonna pass some time here.
I'm lying there dead.
You're doing what you're usually doing.
Yep.
Bleh. All right. So time is passing. Let's see.
I'd like to think as time is passing, we do have a conversation about like our first mission with Andre, because I feel like this would be the time where Mungus would ask like, "Hey, tell me about your encounters in battle with Anvir." And I feel like I would get just story after story of him, because that's like the whole purpose for Mungus to bring the bottle and to go and try and find a bar was to find out more about who Anvir was, because he's only fought in one battle really with them. So that was like his reason for getting everybody to, have a sip of the wine, if you will.
So you're asking Wolfane about Anvir, or you're telling him about him?
Oh, I'm just telling them why I'm trying to get everybody to drink from the bottle and just sit and talk about our friend Anvir.
All right, so you go back to like the campsite and maybe sit down with Nasira and ask her to tell you more about Anvir.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping everyone would eventually do. Was to come back to the campsite.
Yeah,
like,
so
sit down about Anvir.
I think Eldwin's sort of there. I'm not sure about LJ. Would LJ come back at some point?
LJ was he found out that Hawek is not there. He would go back to the bottle and Nasira and drink from the bottle again.
All right, and now this new fellow, Wolfen
von Kluve.
Wolfen would also join you, nodding to all of you. He says, "Some songs from the road, perhaps," strumming his musical instrument. Ding, as he plays a relaxing tone, or maybe like a more solemn tone, as you all sit there. And Mungus, you ask about Anvir.
Yeah, I want to just get an idea of what this warrior was like in battle. So, what was the first battle you fought with Anvir? Anyone recall?
That would probably be a question for Eldwin.
Yeah, LJ speaks up and says, "Now, to be honest, we have more questions for Eldwin since he's been here the longest, but as he is probably still are in the door. It'll probably fall up to me.
Would Eldon come to the campfire, or would he still be standing there?
Yeah, he's going to stand there.
So you said you were going to be where you could see the door, right? Or wait, are you
Yeah.
back in the temple watching the door closely?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm like I'd be literally standing like right in front of that door.
Okay, so yeah, he's not here then. So it'd be the three of you.
There, LJ says, oh, the first time I fought with them, they were half dead because a golem fucked them up. Because, as he described, they wanted roots. It was I'm gonna say, kind of because sure, I met up with, Drow friend and another friend that, fucked off. His name was Val, and the other one was insert name here.
The ballad of insert name here, Wolfen says as he strums his lute. Very interesting.
Dresmore,
The song is called Hidden Past by Kevin MacLeod.
we met up with them, had a fight with the Still Shadow, and, came out on top, obviously, but that's where we met.
Cool.
Yeah, you probably got something more interesting out of Eldwin if you can get him over here, but I don't think he's coming over here.
I remember, like out of character, I think that the first battle that Nasira fought with Anvir was at the Null cultist headquarter camp after the earthquakes and stuff. So she would share some details of that battle and the initial encounter and stuff. Yeah, she'd give Mungus a story. She'd be brief about it, not a lot of details, but she would, give Mungus the story he's looking for, some info.
Alright, so you share your story as well.
Thank you.
And, LJ then borrows the bottle from Nasira and drinks another. Oh,
As-
not the whole thing, another glass and good thing.
As Wolfen continues to, not even sure what instrument this is.
It's a lute. It's like a guitar.
Oh, I mean, for the song we're listening to. But yeah, he's playing his instrument, kind of adding some ambiance to your tale.
Give me a second, I can tell you. Why is music not? Do I have music off?
This is a piano. I don't think he has a piano.
He just has like one of them little blow pianos.
He has a guitar. Pulls out a guitar for this next song.
Oh, he just has one. He has that bloody toy saxophone Jack Black did on that bloody talk show.
The saxophone.
Saxaboom.
Saxaboom. All right. So yeah, unless Eldwin is going to walk over at some point and join them to recount some tales of Anvir, I figure I'll just pass some time.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think, Elwin?
No, Eldon's committed to staying right there, make sure that
Alright.
no one gets in.
Eldrin's committed to the door.
So an hour would pass. Still no word. You do hear magic incantations being performed within the room. Is anyone doing anything?
Yeah, LJ's on the lookout for Harriet.
Okay. Keeping an eye out. More drink and tale as you sit around the fire. I guess Nasira can recap some other battles along with Leo Jr. to Mungus, as you've been through a few together.
unless they take the whole thing, unless they stop LJ, he's just gonna drink the whole thing.
All right.
Honestly, I mean, if there's 4 of us that have been drinking from this bottle, like an average 750 milliliter bottle of wine only has 4 glasses in it.
Why do you know this?
Mary
might be a
Mary
bit of a
has some
wino.
she's got some facts
Mary
here.
knows how long it takes her to empty a bottle of wine.
She made her intelligence
Oh, yeah, that
check.
too.
Don't worry about
But
it.
no,
Look, I took
seriously,
a
a bottle of
I took
wine
a bottle.
generally
What
has
is it?
about 4 glasses. That's just standard, normal. Like,
Yeah.
when you order a bottle at a restaurant, you're gonna get about 4 glasses out of it.
It's a bottle of
I think that's the
holding.
thing. Here's
A
the
bottle
thing.
of
Yeah,
holding. Oh, if
It's
it's
an
a bottle
alchemy
of
jug.
holding, then in that case, let's just keep chugging.
the inventory says bottles, so there's definitely not just one. Mungus took 2, maybe even 3. So
There is.
There is
another.
only one.
Yeah, there
I
would.
feel like
No,
at one
it says
time we had
bottles.
more. I
That
feel
might
like
have
at
just
one time we
been,
had more, but we used it
Yeah,
for
I
something,
haven't.
yeah.
I didn't remove the S from
and
from
that's,
when it was taken out.
if that was the only bottle, I don't know.
Yep.
Party
an
foul.
asshole.
No,
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, unless you want to
Oh,
retcon and say LJ bought the barrels, then no.
You can blame Leo Jr. for this one. Like, the ledger said there was more wine. God damn it.
I never said there was more wine. I said there was a wine.
You forgot to get rid of the S, obviously. Uh,
It's 1 bottles of wine.
so
Wine.
I'll say after the second hour, it's pretty late now. It's after midnight, 12:30 a.m. Trislin would come out with a solemn look on her face and kind of sigh. And she says, I guess Elwyn, you're right there, right?
Eldwin.
Yeah.
Elwyn, yeah. She says, it worked. Your friend has come back.
Yeah,
And she
he's scared with that
smiles.
solemn look.
You know, like
It took a lot out of me, and I might need some time to recover, but I believe that he will be okay. He definitely could use some time to rest, but I think he wants to speak to all of you. Why don't where are the rest of your friends? She looks around.
believe I last saw them heading out to the courtyard.
All right. Well, why don't I have him meet you all out there shortly?
It's like, thank you for all your help, Priestess, but go get your rest. I can take Anvir.
All right. So she nods and kind of meekly makes her way towards the dormitories. If you go into the room, you would see Anvir sitting on the altar. Like, his shirt is kind of off, but he has the rest of his clothes on. Lots of the necrotic burns and scarring from the battle still obvious. What would you say, Anvir, sitting on the altar as he walks in?
I saw my god, and I'd never want to do that again. Don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but it's terrifying.
That's the first thing you would say is, "Where's my super suit? Or what's my shield?"
I am shirtless at the moment. I don't think my shield is what I'm worrying about.
Yeah, that would be funny.
I would also say, when Onvia comes back, his eyes have changed.
Oh.
This was purely a cosmetic choice from my point, but his eyes now look very much more starry.
Yeah, so he kind of limps out a little. Still recovering, but looking a lot better than he did, 2 hours ago.
Like, glad to see you finally woke up.
Oh,
Like-
so am I. He
I-
really came for me.
It's like, yeah, he was not happy with you. I'll walk right up to him, and with my whole puny 8 strength, just lightly punch him in the chest.
Oof. Still has all those necrotic burns. All right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like,
God, the pain.
I'm
I'm pretty
that's
sure
when-
I am still at 1 hit point.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
which is why he's
Yeah,
like,
he falls
it's not gonna be a
unconscious.
hard
Death
hit.
save.
it's not gonna be a hard hit because of that. But it's like, and that's for making me worry.
Nah,
You know what? Yeah, that's fair.
Nat 20 knocked him down. Now
Alright.
1 on death save. He dies again.
So a little while later, he probably would all see Anvir kind of come limping out of the church with Eldwin, like kind of like arm draped over his shoulder.
Yeah, the moment they come out, LJ runs up and gets the other arm on the other shoulder since he has more strength.
Oh,
Then
all right. So you help him to continue coming outside, maybe over to the campfire.
How you doing, dumbass?
I'm alive. I feel like absolutely terrible.
Okay, Pinocchio. Come on.
The famed hero returns, Wolfen says. Says,
I also just wanna-
let's change up this music a bit.
Just to clarify, I think I have a -4 to everything for the next
sorry.
4 days.
I think
4 days,
yeah.
Mungus looks at I think Mungus looks at Wolf and goes, like just.
What? Oh,
I
sorry.
think Mungus,
He stops
I think
playing.
Mungus looks at Wolf and says,
Record scratch.
Yeah, it's like midnight.
Yeah, all the monks are like, shut up. You've been playing for 2 hours. It's like, oh, sorry. So yeah, what do you all want to do?
I look over at LJ and go, "Is that my shield?"
Oh yeah, here, have that. As he
Yes, thank you.
as he unstraps him, like one hands it, takes it off, puts it on Vera, and I take my other shield out of the bag, fold and put it back on.
So I take it you guys killed Ellis.
Well, yes, it ate my sword, got my sword back, I punched the shit out of it. Oh, stabbed it, slashed
Yep.
it.
We managed to save Ellen and Davian. They're
Okay,
back at
good,
the
good.
they're back at the manor under guard from Dosha Seal and Calthar.
Ah, good.
What is music?
This is called Elven Dirge.
Oh. Yeah, I can see it. A resurrection into this music. Yeah.
Elven Dirge by, I don't even know it. It's not Kevin McLeod. Mene Vela Ata, whoever that is. Oh wait, by Goof Parade. All right, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty late. Everyone's pretty tired as you all celebrate the return of your friend.
Please let me sleep.
Well,
Yep,
so yeah, you're
yep.
probably exhausted.
Come on, let me help you to bed.
Yeah. But yeah, because just for those who don't know, the side effect of Raised Dead is I have a -4 penalty to attack roll, saving throws, and ability checks that decreases each day I take a long
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's gonna be -3 next time, and so on.
Yeah.
I feel like Andre would lead me to a bed and LJ would help him on it.
All right, so you are brought to. I mean, you all have chambers at this point. Trislin would come to your chambers later that night, Anvir, and say, "How are you feeling?"
I'm alive. It is good to see you all again.
Says it is. You know, you think you could have come back here before you ended up dead? This is
It has been very hectic.
She says, you know, I've worried. I mean, the messages were nice, but you should visit us more often.
I should. I've been very far away. I've been traveling a lot.
She says, I apologize. I'm a bit sad. She says, I know you've been through a lot. I'm just glad I was able to bring you back this time. I just think of how sad it would have been if I had never been able to speak with you again.
I just kind of give her a nice gentle hug.
All right.
Would LJ also be in the room like watching?
No, LJ
Andre
is not in here right now. I
while,
mean,
sleeping?
It's just hanging in my room.
you're just like, what? Oh, don't mind me. You're like smoking a
like
pipe
those,
or something.
Hospital rooms with those.
No, I assume this is later on after everyone kind of went to bed. As they share a moment.
Funny enough, Eldon would actually be up at this point, only because he would have set up an alarm spell outside Von Beer's room.
Just to
So it
be
would have
safe.
woken him up.
He would have got the
Yes.
ping and checked on it. All right, fair
Yeah.
enough. So yeah, maybe you're watching from the shadows or something.
And yeah,
Super.
LJ would want to talk to Tristan whenever that happens.
All right. So the night would be passing unless anyone else is doing anything. It is now the 47th of spring as you all wake up refreshed. Do you have a time you want to set your long rest to? Because it's at 10:30 right now because your last adventure, you had a couple of times when you stayed up really late. But you've had time to rest since then, so you can reset it.
Probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah, usually it's like 8 a.m. is the time.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'll
we'll,
go 8.
we'll say we
8 sounds good to me.
you reset it back to 8 during your downtime. So yeah,
Actually, long rest now.
you all have a long rest for the evening. You would definitely feel a lot better in the morning on Veer, though still not 100% by any means.
Yeah.
You would see a caravan coming in the morning, led by Herrick, who has a bunch of wagons pulled by spiders, and several monks and priests coming in with him. This is kind of in the morning as you're all waking up.
So about 8 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, like 8:30.
Yeah, LJ is probably the first one up, and either would go talk to Harriet or Tristan if she's up. Tristan.
Sure. So which one? Well, I'm guessing Trislan since Herrick
she's
isn't
up.
here yet.
Yeah, if she's up, LJ would go talk to her.
Yeah, so she would be probably in the middle of the morning prayers, and she would say, "Oh, yes, how can I help you? You weren't Mungus, you were the other one, Leo."
Leo, yes. Mungus was the Goliath.
Yes, my apologies.
Maybe talk in private, or should I wait until after your prayers here?
I suppose we could talk in private. What is this about?
Simply put, I was an elf.
She says, "Oh, what happened to you? You don't look like an elf now."
Yeah, that... I haven't figured out why, but I became a variant of a human-elf hybrid. I haven't figured that out why I became the way I am, but I'm wondering if you can help me get back to my high elf form as I was birthed.
Perhaps. So, how is it that you were changed? I would need to know more details.
That I have no idea. From what I could figure out, it's some kind of curse back during my military days.
It's an
Beyond
odd.
that, haven't figured it out.
Certainly is an odd curse. She says, "Well, I'm guessing you have already tried the more simple removal of curse magics."
That I did try shortly after I figured this out, and before I met my husband.
She says, I would really need to know more about this curse. There's a couple of things I could try, but I believe it would require research. Curses can be tricky, especially those that can't be dispelled the more common ways. Do you have any idea why this happened to you? Like what you were doing at the time? What was happening? Did someone die around you? Any details would help me.
I first noticed that it may happen a few hours before, but I was on my way to Candleholm. It's you should know of it.
Oh yes, we trade with them quite often.
Yeah, I was on my way to Candleholm when I first noticed it, but when I left the honorably discharged, and as OJ does quotes, I was a high elf then, and when I was on the way over to Kandahome, is that's when I noticed I didn't have elven features. I was more human.
So the
And-
change was not something that was obvious. There was no magical energies around you or any type of feel from your body that you had been shifting. You just noticed as you reached your destination that you were not who you used to be.
Bingo.
She thinks. Well, that could be a few things still, sadly. You will probably need to do some research at one of the larger libraries. I don't think Hildar has a library. Or wait, does it?
Has a small one, but I think it's more like fables and history.
Okay. She says, this sort of thing will take time. It must be studied, and I still couldn't guarantee success. If you're going to be in this area for a while, perhaps some of the monks could help you study this, and maybe we could come up with an answer, but I have no guarantees for you, my friend.
Well, I can give you the name of my best guess.
Okay. What would
if
that be?
helps.
Any information would be very helpful in this.
Where's it was a spellcaster, which was my commanding general, Felix why can I never say that even now? He was a bunny, by the name of Felix. He was a curse caster, if you want to call it that. He basically cursed people to death.
Well,
So that was my best guess.
that would make sense if you're suffering from a curse. But
Why
yes,
he did it, I have no idea if he did it.
if we would have to start with some research and look into several different possibilities. Either that research can be done here or elsewhere, but that would be the first step. Identifying what happened to you would be how we bring about an end to it.
I'll probably have to contact Felix then. We left on good terms, so at least I thought we did. So,
She nods.
yeah. If I can get in contact with Felix, maybe he can tell me why.
She nods and says, well, that might be a good first step then. I'm sorry. I wish there was an easy fix for this sort of thing.
There never is.
But my magic... Yeah, there's a few spells I would try on you, but I'm guessing you've already tried most of them yourself through others.
Can't help to try. But, yeah, like you said, I already tried the basic ones.
Alright, so maybe she would try some of her spells just to be safe. What about the rest of you? Is anyone else doing anything this morning?
Alden would basically would basically be sticking by Anvir's side and be like, and just being super annoying. It's like, so this is where this is where all your past is, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. You've effectively met my mother now.
So she's so Priestess Strislin was the one who raised you, effectively.
Yes, for most of my life. I was
You hear an uplifting tune coming from the main hall as Wolfane plays his instrument.
Would that be the same place that LJ and Kristen are?
Probably not. You guys are probably elsewhere.
Yes, no, Trislin, I think, thinks of most people here as her children.
You definitely has a good heart.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Alright.
she's been the Elder here for quite some time, from what I understand.
So have you been here all of your life then?
Well, all of my life that I know about, anyway.
Oh.
Well, I don't know how long it was before I was left here, but I was
Different
taken in, and yeah. Trislan's the one who told me about the stars.
Like, you know, if it weren't for the fact that you kept summoning those things in almost like every other fight, I still wouldn't believe you.
Well, if you believe Trislan, she's actually seen the stars.
Where are you two right now? Just out of curiosity.
I imagine we're walking away from the rooms, maybe towards just the main hall.
Alright, towards where Wolfane is playing and where kind of everyone else is gathered.
Yeah.
Alright.
Actually, at some point I probably would have asked Andres, like, sir, is there a place here where they like have donations or something?
That's a valid question. We trade for most of our things, but I'm sure they wouldn't say no to it.
Like
I
offerings
assume
or
Mungus is
something like
not
that?
still by the campfire, right?
Oh,
I'm the
it's-
offering channel.
It's
gimme.
it's the next morning, so he probably would have gone to sleep. He's probably in the main hall now, but I mean, you can be wherever you want him to
Yeah, I
be.
would have gone and saw Olivir as well, right?
You would have what?
I would have been there when Onver woke up, right?
Yeah, sure, if you want. Well, so we'll say, like, maybe as you two are walking out of the room, you would see kind of Mungus waiting there.
I imagine I'm probably more or less sharing this story with, I'm assuming, everyone but Leo.
Yeah, Leo's
No,
not
you know,
here. Mungus, we'll say you two were talking in the room, and as you walk out, Mungus is there. Is Nasira there as well, or is she somewhere else?
Yeah, I'd be in the hall.
Okay, so yeah, you would bump into Mungus and Nasira as you two walk out of the room.
Yeah, LJ's probably gone before any of you.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just sharing my past with these three while LJ's off talking to Tris.
Yeah. Is Nasira or Mungus saying anything?
I think I will look at Ondir and just kind of nod and just say, hey, when you have a chance, you know, maybe you can chat, but hey, good to see you. And like I kind of show him, the new tattoo.
I don't know whether to be
see if you
flattered
would
or
recognize
creeped
it.
out.
It's got a hand tattoo of you.
A bit of
Don't
both,
make it weird.
Imagine just rocking up, seeing your mate.
Hey man,
Like,
I
it's
got
like
a
a day
tattoo on me.
later. I feel like Omvi is like trying to be really nice, but he's like in his head like, should I be creeped out by this?
Then
Fair.
it is
As-
both.
As he walks off, Elden's just gonna go, that was weird, right?
Alright, so you all make your way to the main hall where they're having some breakfast. At this point, Trislan and LJ kind of walk in. It's probably about 9 o'clock when the paladin, who you hadn't seen yesterday, would join everyone as well. Trislan would introduce him as Harrick. Is Harrick, you're not related to him, right? He's just someone who is here.
I'm not like biologically related to anybody here.
Okay. So, yeah, she would introduce Harrick, who would bow and kind of nod to all of you. He says, I'm glad you brought Anvir back here. Trislan told me of what happened. He says you are all friends and welcomed at the temple as long as you wish to stay. I'm sorry I couldn't be here when you got back, Anvir. But you know, business is as usual.
Oh yes, I know you've been especially busy of late.
He nods. He says, someone has to keep this place afloat while you're off adventuring. He says, but it is good to see you again.
I'm assuming me any of the stuff that Tristan tried did what?
I assume it wouldn't work unless,
Yeah, no.
yeah. So yeah, she would say, well, why don't we eat and we can share stories, Anvir. You haven't been here in a while. I'm sure everyone here would love to hear of your adventures, which we don't have to roleplay, but I'll say you
I was
spend,
gonna say, yeah,
you spend like the morning talking about all the quests and your battles with the gnolls and all that stuff.
I convey to her with more than 25 words limits.
Yeah.
That's actually
So you can use performance or persuasion to convey your stories.
who me.
Yeah, Wolfane's music will give you advantage as he tries to make all your tales a little bit more exciting with music.
Well, they're both. Well, because of my current things, they're both all going to be -1.
Oh, hey,
So, whatever I roll, -3 from.
I'm very tired. I don't want to talk about it.
Hey.
Yeah, see.
So 19 total.
Yeah, so you, even with all your exhaustion, you put on a pretty good show and have a few people on the edge of their seats before the end of it, gaining a bunch of claps from the monks and the priests when you finish. And
I give a special highlight to the great Onyx who sacrificed his life for me.
you talk about Onyx in a bit of a solemn moment, at least for the group, because they all remember his passing. And Trislin would say, well, I'm just glad that you're all right, Anvir. And again, you are welcome to stay here, you and your friends, as long as you need. The roads are always dangerous. Bandits and enemies dot the caves and make travel difficult, so just make sure that you bring Hildir with you wherever you go. He will protect you and bring you back to us.
I always do.
Alright, so yeah, what does the group want to do at this point? You have your ally back.
So I'm assuming everyone's caught me up onto speed about like, oh yeah, we need to go to this pass or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll tell you everything we learned and where
Ravens,
the NPC...
Ravens Port, Ravens Prey, Ravens Point, Ravens something.
Revan's Pass, which is fairly... It's a good distance from here. It is sort of an in-between city that a lot of caravans moving through the communities use to resupply. It's very well protected. Does anyone have history? You might know some more things.
I have history.
Alright.
Oh, we finally got him back.
Okay. So,
I forget that I took religion over history, but
I also have
so
history.
19 again.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so you
nothing.
may even have been there at a few
No.
points. You know that the city isn't held by any of the empires, but there are some very rich families who hold sway over the place. 3 of them, to be exact, and they're often in conflict with each other. But there's an uneasy truce between them that keeps Revan's Pass active.
Do I know the name of these 3 families?
Not off the top of your head.
No.
You just remember the
Any
conflict.
of them Foxheart?
No, none of them are Foxheart.
Good then.
Foxhearts, at least from what you were told by Nathaniel, are from the capital.
Yeah.
They're from
Okay.
Doric, the Doric Empire.
because of how far away Revan's Pass is, it might be best to hold off until I can finish reading Uval's manual on the ship.
Spend some downtime.
It should only take me a handful of days to get through it
Yeah.
all.
I think that we could return to Candle, because I think we may want to travel with our NPCs. Shall we?
Yeah,
Won't
we're
companions?
gonna want at least one of the ley line girls with us.
Yeah.
We can discuss with them what they think is best.
Yeah, we can discuss who comes when we get there.
What's the comfortable occupancy of the ship again?
I want to say it's like 16. It's a pretty decent number.
Yeah, I
Oh.
knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't a tiny amount, but I knew it wasn't huge either.
So we can basically take whoever we want.
From what it sounds like, yeah.
So
And someone like Sol, what would he count as? Like 2 people?
Theo? I mean, he's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
mean, Mungus is 7 foot, so
He's also a big boy.
You're still a medium creature, though.
Yeah, he would still be 1. It's just like, on an
We-
airplane,
we
you
call
can
him
squeeze him in.
who you calling medium? It's kind of
How dare you?
You know what
like
I
a
mean.
little menacing.
You know what I mean. Game statistic-wise.
Alright, so you're heading back to Candleholm then to spend some downtime?
Now, are we walking there, or are we...
I was about to say, like, because I don't think I would have told anyone about this. So if we decide to go to Candle Home, Ellen would make a big show. It's like, all right, we're heading back. Then everyone follow me, and he'd lead everyone to like the courtyard.
So before that, you would possibly notice something during breakfast. So your past perception is 19 now, right, Anvir?
It would be... If I've long rested since I've resurrected, then at the moment it'd be 20.
Okay. So actually you, Nasira, and oh wait, no, Leo Jr.
Back
That
to
would be
10.
fit.
Needs to change to 10 again.
Okay, that would be 10. So you and Nasira would notice during breakfast, Harrick kind of talking to Trislin about something, and she looks a bit distressed as he kind of nods and they continue their conversation. You can't hear exactly what they're saying, but it definitely catches your eye during everything that's happening.
If I noticed Trislin looking worried about it, I would probably get up as somebody who's more comfortable around all these people and go ask if everything's alright.
Oh, so she is kind of surprised as you walk over. She says, it's nothing, Anvir. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. Please, eat. You've done quite a lot in these last few days, fighting off death. You don't need to concern yourself with any of the temple's problems.
Temple is my home.
And she kind of is saying this like kind of more quietly, so the other people don't hear her. But again, Nasira, you would probably pick up on this.
Okay.
Give
Temple
me
is my home. Yeah.
give me a persuasion check.
Or I am actually inspired, so I'm going to use that on this roll.
Okay, so inspired persuasion.
Just because I'm just not positive how well it's going to go. So it would be it would be 15 total. With my negative
15?
3 at the moment.
So she seems hesitant at first, but she says, it's just the trade routes have become harder with some problems near the bridge. It's something our people have dealt with for a while now, keeping her voice low. Harrick would nod. He says, I think there is some sort of drow faction that has held sway there, and it's been making trade with some of the outer communities more difficult for everyone. He says, they are powerful. We haven't seen bandits of their caliber before. These aren't your normal cave brigands. He says, we've paid them. We luckily have enough from our trades and selling of food to be able to pay their toll, but it's just been taxing on us.
How much have they been charging you?
And he says, it depends on how much we wish to cross their bridges with. I say their bridges. The communities made those bridges. They shouldn't be getting anything for it.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
He says, they are powerful, friend. I don't know if you want to involve yourself in this. I was just telling Trislin about it because we might need to devote some more funds towards it if we're going to continue moving food to those communities. And again, they're both kind of saying this quietly as everyone's eating. So it's not something that's being announced over the table.
This is not amazing news.
He says it's just the truth, the tunnels. We always have to deal with things like this, but it's our burden. I wouldn't have you worry about this.
Well, when are you planning to next go out? Maybe me and my group could go with you. If you're planning on going soon, or maybe if they're not too far away, we could deal with it before we leave. I want you guys to be the safest possible before I leave.
So you would know the bridge is actually pretty close. It's about a day's journey over this way.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I'd say me and my friends could probably go check it out.
It's near one of the old dwarven ruins. That is still kind of smashed up in that area.
Are there many of them?
Well, there's I think there's at least a group of 15 to 20. It's not a small group. And again, you would be hearing this, Nasira.
I will just kind of keep
eating.
letting Ondir continue his conversation, and I assume he will either come back to us and tell us what he wants to do, or tell her, right now what he wants to do.
Look, I can at very least bring it up with my friends, and we could potentially deal with it. At the very least, we could potentially give you some money to help pay the tolls.
I mean, money donations would help a lot with what we have to do. But
I believe my friend Eldwin was actually inquiring about where to give the church donations.
You would just give them to Trislin here, and she would nod and say, "I could take any donations you wish to give us." But yeah, so why don't you talk to your friends? And it's not, like I said, I feel bad making this your problem. This was not supposed to be something you even heard of. As usual, your keen ear picks up things it shouldn't, he says, crossing his arm.
This is my home as well. It concerns me just as much as it concerns you guys, in my opinion. We all want everyone here to be as happy and safe as possible.
All right. Well, if you wish to discuss it with your friends, that's fine. We can maybe speak more of it later, but enjoy breakfast for now.
I'll start heading off, but before I do, I'll say, Tristan, even if my friends don't agree, here, take this for now. And I'll hand her over 15 platinum.
15 bars? Or 15 platinum. Okay. So I'm like, holy crap.
No.
Onvir just gave away the whole treasury. Making it rain.
I gave them about half the platinum I'm currently carrying.
All right. So she would thank you. She says, this is very generous. And give you a blessing of Hildir or Hildar.
Honestly, I've been wanting to send money to the church before, but it just never really found a safe way to do it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, what do you want to do after breakfast? You gonna tell everyone?
I would huddle my group up and away from some of the other people and all that, so I could talk to them without spreading the word throughout the whole temple.
All right, sure. So you guys meet at like the rooms back in your dormitory area.
Yeah, and I would just explain to you guys what Trislin and Harrick were telling me about, and if you guys would be willing to help.
The first thing LJ says is
at temple.
The first thing LJ says is, "Who are we killing?"
Sounds like drow bandits.
It's like we
Well,
definitely.
bandits are going down today. Well, attacking tomorrow.
Apparently, they've set up like a toll.
Oh God, no! Oh God, I hate tolls. Okay, who are we killing? I have a personal thing with this. I hate tolls and people who do them.
I hate
It
bridges with
was,
tolls.
but yeah, I'd warn them about how like apparently they're stronger than normal, just brigands, and there's about 15 so of them.
Like we definitely we owe Tristan and this temple a great debt. Like I think
Ravens, Paul, Ravens, Port, Ravens.
Well, we don't have a specific timeline on. I mean,
Getting there.
besides, my only concern with time is that we don't know Scarlett's situation, but we have no leads on her at all. So,
That is
there's
true.
yeah.
it's gonna take us a while to get to our destination anyway. Plus,
This is only a day's sidetrack.
I am willing to investigate these matters if the group wishes.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
we-
fine with that.
do we want to spend some time? Do we want to spend some time here and let Anvir rest up before heading straight into another battle?
I would not argue to at least an extra day of rest.
That would be fun for me. I need to talk to Tristan some more
Like,
and
I,
get some stuff
like,
figured out.
like I also have some things I wouldn't mind seeing if they have answers here for.
You know, that is a great point, Eldwin. You have been doing some weird stuff lately.
I have no idea what you speak about.
You grow elf ears.
Actually,
Really?
This,
The amount of things I do and you find that weird?
Actually,
I can
that's
turn into
more
a
weird
giant
than
ape
what
too.
is going on with me. What the fuck are you? That's more weird than what I am.
it is, if you really look at it, because you're permanently changed. He just sometimes looks like that.
Like, look, if you must know something, I want to ask if they might have any information about those elven ruins that we found over at the Null base.
Okay. Yeah, that answers that question.
All right, so you're gonna spend a day here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
at least one.
yeah. Eldridge
Alright.
gonna try to figure out a way to get in contact with Phillips.
Like, at some point, Eldon would probably approach Trislin.
Yeah, sure. What about Mungus? We haven't heard from you in a bit. What's Mungus up to?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
I guess Mungus was kind of just hanging in the background where he fits because his height wise, but he's kind of been in the background waiting for the go ahead from Andre that he's ready to go and continue adventuring. So
All right, so he's not
just kinda,
not up to anything right now.
just making sure Andre's healthy. I feel like bringing
He's
him juice
Sweden.
in the morning.
All right,
I'm like there for physical therapy, you know.
keeping an eye on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Lee.
there-
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna actually say Nasira. What about you? Are you doing anything?
I had started a research project back in Campbell, but I assume I couldn't do the same project here, or would I be able to?
So there is a library here. You couldn't. Did you pay for help back in Candle?
I did not. I did pay for the basic, but I don't think that help was necessarily available.
Yeah. So if you.
Did it.
So yeah. Since.
I've got 2 days towards it of 5.
So yeah, I mean, you wouldn't get any help here unless you want to try to pay some of the people, but you could use their library. They wouldn't try to stop you.
She was researching a schematic or a recipe. So.
All right, so yeah, we'll say she's gonna do that for the day, checking their library. So that's you. Mungus is hanging out with Onvir. Leo Jr., you were trying to get, or let's see. Yeah, you said you were trying to get in touch with someone, right?
Yeah, I will either be training or or trying to contact Phillips, the curse maker.
How would you contact him?
Try see if I can send a letter off to where I last saw him or last known location. See if they can take that one off.
Where would that be?
I haven't even figured that out.
You just gonna like hire a monk to try to run a letter to him? There isn't really like a USPS or anything.
Monks are the USPS.
Drow,
What are we talking
Drow
about?
overnight service. We'll get your letter there.
Yeah.
They have monks have a movement speed of 50. They'll get there whenever you need them to.
It's like that one build that you can do with monks where you can get like 720 feet in a turn or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Tabaxi monk service. He just runs it through the cave.
Yeah, LJ would see if he could hire a monk to just go to the last location that he knew of Felix.
Yeah, I mean, so you could probably hire the temple, like, you'd actually probably talk to Trislin about that. She can, next time the caravan goes to Trade and Candle, they can send a message, and then they can hook up with another caravan master who's going to where Felix is.
Yeah, LJ doesn't know if Felix has move locations since they were both in the military, but just standing on the last location that you know of.
So I'm guessing he's in one of the major empires, right?
Probably.
Most likely even in the Darrock one, because he was a human, wasn't he?
No, he's actually a Tabaxi.
Would
Tabaxi.
Mungus recognize his military uniform?
Who, Leo's?
Yeah, Mungus was a mercenary, so he can recognize.
The only thing Leo still has of his military uniform still on would be his owl that he has, would be his crest of the military.
Do you two want to have a backstory connection where Mungus might know you? Well, I guess you might still recognize it. If you want to give me a history check, even if you guys don't know each other.
What, both of us?
It would be Mungus rolling.
Okay.
12. You might actually with a 12. You may have at least heard of his company. I don't know if Leo wants to share or if you can share that info.
I haven't even thought of it, so I couldn't.
Okay. So yeah, we can say that maybe you do recognize some of the colors and symbols of his military symbol that he has and what unit he may have been with, but he still has to figure that out for himself.
Yeah.
I love how whenever any of us have a question about any of our backstory
Yeah.
comes up, it's
So,
always
like, finish your
I didn't think about that.
Finish your backstories, guys. Jesus. No, it's fine.
Just
I know
confer
this,
with the elders. It's the easiest thing to do.
So on the characters where I wrote extensive backstories and family connections and colleagues and all, we never touch any of it. Only on the characters where I don't complete my backstory does it ever come up.
I wasn't attacking you.
Oh, I know. No one was attacking anyone.
LJ would talk to
Yeah.
Mungus. I'm just gonna pre-fund this. Is Mungus asked about the military that he was a part of? He would say that he was part of a military that fought in the front lines of the Darrock Empire, since Felix would be there from there.
Darrock Empire, yeah, that's familiar.
And that would make sense because
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's where you did come from, the human empire, Mungus. So that would make sense that you might know
They
that.
would use us to do some dirty work that they didn't want people in fancy uniforms being seen doing. So yeah.
Well, I
We
will
wouldn't
say
go to
this.
real assholes.
I will say this. Felix is the only person I know of the Darrock Empire who wears one of those fancy ass uniforms who actually got on the front lines with me. He's the only damn person.
So maybe
So then we were on different front lines.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would remember your fun. Um, yeah, different front lines. But I don't know where you were stationed. I
Here's a
don't
good
remember.
point. How long ago were you stationed?
Oh
Shit. Give me
yeah,
a second. Let me get my backstory up.
that's true. You being
Youngest might not have even been born.
yeah that long ago, you probably yeah.
Okay.
And
Where is
actually,
my
how would you?
timeline?
No, it would have had to been recent if if your commander
I'm
was
only like
Tabaxi.
37. I'm only like 37 years old, so
Yeah, it's probably been about 30 years ago, probably somewhere around there. I heard the
I
This is
captain.
an
mean,
old cat.
it probably hasn't even been that long, or your Tabaxi like captain would be
Probably not.
dead at this point because
Probably
Tabaxi
not.
don't live like 60 years.
Yeah, I know he was in Kendall for about 2 years before joining
Yeah,
Grey
tabaxis live about
Wanderers.
human life speed, so like 80-ish.
Yeah, it
So
might.
probably about. I think LJ was in the military for a long period of time, but he met Phillips on the later end of it.
All right, so yeah, it's
okay.
probably. I mean, it would probably have to be within the last 5 to 10 years when he was doing this, or else like your Tabaxi guy would be super old at this point.
Yeah.
Probably like 15 max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like to answer your question, Mungus, you probably would recognize his colors. Possibly know a little bit about his unit, being that you worked with all those different units. You and your people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I will say this. You do not know it, but the others will do. But LJ would say it to you. Well, I actually did met some interesting people. I worked with the unit for a little bit before they got shipped off to God knows where. I never talked to him there. He was a fun guy. God, what was his name? Barrett. Barrett was his name. He was a fun guy. I wish I could meet him
He was a
again.
mushroom.
He was a mushroom?
Zinga.
Wow.
Going for the exact same joke.
Yeah, fun guy. Okay, let me give Elwin some time here, because you were saying something, Elwin. What were you doing in all this? As everyone's kind of at their rooms, kind of talking and getting ready to make your next moves.
Like I would, some point I would like run. I would approach Trislin, and I'm assuming Andrea mentioned like the donation.
Yeah,
thing
I
to
did
me.
send you a whisper because I had forgot to say anything about it, but I would have.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Uh, so I would approach her as like, Andrea is saying that, uh, like that we're having trouble and would appreciate some donations. Like, unfortunately, my line of work means I don't hold a lot of gold on me for long, but I can give you this, and
Oh,
I'll hand her 50 gold pieces.
she says that's very kind of you. Thank you. I wouldn't expect anything from your group. Just bringing Anvir back here is quite a lot, and I am grateful that you did so. I don't know if I would have been able to get over if he was just lost in some cave and left to rot in the dark. So
Like, consider this my thanks to Hildar.
all right, so she would bow and graciously accept your 50 gold pieces.
It's like I do have one question that I was hoping that you might have some wisdom on.
Yes.
During our travel in the fight against the Null cultists, we encountered several like ancient elven ruins within the area, and in those ruins there were it's like there were spirits and beings who were trapped, who appeared to be like trapped in there. I don't think we like I think there may still be some like tied or trapped to there, and I was wondering if you had any ideas about how you could release these spirits from their from whatever's holding them on this plane.
Oh, well, I mean, there are rituals to put the dead to rest permanently. Do you speak of undead, or are these poltergeist? Well, poltergeists are undead, she says, but
Spirits.
is unfortunately, there's not much I could do from here. I would have to get closer and be able to figure out what's trapping them. Maybe if you give me the location of this place, I can try to have our people investigate it at some point.
It's like, yes, of course, and I'll just like give her like the location of the ruins, like that library, that elvish library, and all of that stuff.
All right. Could
like-
you add a project to the party sheet that starts today that she's doing? Just note the start date. I'll figure out the details later.
All right.
Yeah. And she says, yes, I will see if we can have someone look into that if we ever get up near that area. Though we rarely travel beyond Candle, as those are dangerous caves. But if this is important to you, we can look into this. Especially with the generosity that you and Anvir and your people have shown.
What's today's date?
Today is the 47th of spring.
Ah.
532. That's the year. I don't know if that'll come into play, but you can add that, I guess.
7 years later.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna pass the day at this point. So if you have any projects you want to work on, you can say you're working on them.
Can I ask, can Mungus have dropped 1 gold coin because he only has 10 and held up the tablet to Andre's mom?
Dropped
Got it going on.
dropped a coin? What do you mean?
I have 10 gold coins
Oh, like
I-
donating a coin to her?
and then asking her like, do you know this?
Oh, interesting. So you show her the tablet. She looks at it. This is the one you were paid to transport?
Yes.
Who took the second tablet?
The
think we-
second cap is
It's in the bag of holding.
Which
Okay.
is
I
probably
remember
on
we
the ship
deliberate-
now.
No,
I remember we deliberately didn't touch it because it
so
seemed weird.
it's a corrupt tablet that's in a backpack, which is currently on the ship.
Okay, I'm just curious. So she looks at the tablet. He says, I'm not familiar with these magics. Is this Yuan-Ti?
Did I recognize it as Yuan-Ti?
I don't know.
When we first looked at them?
Well, I don't know if Mungus showed this to you. I think
He did show us
He
all when he
did,
first
in
met
that-
us.
Yeah, in that building where we first met him, that little...
He
Uh,
was like,
the
yeah,
case
do
where
any
the
of you
people were
guys know
camping
anything
there.
about this?
you may not have recognized it if it was, but
Okay.
he, yeah, she says this. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the magics of this piece. I'm sorry, I can't really give you much info.
Okay. And then we're going to the Ravens Thorn. What? Ravensport?
Revan's Pass is the name of it.
Ravens Pass. Yes, Ravens Pass. That's where we're going, right?
Yeah, that's the name of the town or
Going to-
settlement.
I think we're gonna rest up a bit for Anvir. Then we're gonna head to Candle for the ship, and then once I can,
I think we're going to check out the bridge before we leave here, right?
we're
And then
gonna-
head
Yeah.
back to Candle. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, so the day would pass quietly. If you're all staying in the settlement, you wouldn't have to worry about any random attacks or anything.
One the thing, the weather
Yes.
that would be sent off of where Ferrets was, I'm gonna send you later. But LJ's gonna give Tristan the weather for fillets and 100 gold pieces to keep.
Yeah, so if you pay her the 100 gold pieces, she says, I can get this, I can probably have this sent to the Darrock Empire and your friend through the trade caravans. 100 should be plenty.
That 100 is both for you to keep and for the payment for doing this for me.
Says, oh, well, thank you very much. Although, well, I guess if your friends are able, and then she stops herself. She says, oh, never mind. Thank you, she says, taking the 100 gold, and she says, I'll be sure to get this letter to the Darrock Empire as best we can.
Thank you. And now I head off.
All right. So you spend the day in the town. You would be given food and lodging for free as friends of Anvir, so you don't have to worry about upkeeps for today. Although, well, I think you already paid for your research, so we'll say, yeah, you just keep doing that. Unless you, any of you have projects that aren't paid for, which I think they all are. So go ahead and put a day towards whatever project you're doing. And the day would pass quietly otherwise. It is now the 48th of spring at 8 a.m.
And now I only have a -2 to everything.
I'm assuming I couldn't look on my bloody nose because no nose here.
Bloody what?
My project was learning nose with
Oh, learning Knoll. Yeah,
learning
you wouldn't
Dosha.
you wouldn't have a teacher, so yeah, you couldn't.
yes.
Nope,
No.
unless
well-
teachers, yep.
If you want, yeah, you could you could get one of the monks to teach you. You would just have to pay for the day, which I forget what the cost is.
No, LJ would probably spend the previous day working on the letter,
Okay,
trying to
sure.
make sure, trying to get it right.
Oh, are we getting Mungus's tattoo enchanted here? There are a bunch of
yeah.
priests.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Get your glowy hand tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Can we?
if you have the gold for it, you could pay one of the priests to do it. You could probably even get it for the only 50. They'd probably be willing to do it for free, without the cost of labor.
If we have if you guys want to, if we it costs the material components are 50 gold worth of powdered ruby. So if we have gems we want to use, we could do that, or just 50 gold.
Or
Yeah.
divine components if you have divine
Divine
components. Yeah.
Give me a second.
Although we just spent most of our divine components
Okay.
bringing on Bear back.
LJ would give Mungus 50 gold.
Okay.
Here you go, buddy.
So you give him the 50, and yeah, you have a priest enchant your tattoo, which will now glow as long as your hand is not gloved, giving you a permanent torch.
Nice.
Cool.
And maybe like a little bit of a creepy tattoo of Anvir.
Glowing on Beer.
Constant
I also
reminder, hey bud.
I did also just notice I apparently have 350 golds worth of diamonds on me. Could we say she used some of those instead of some of the components?
It would be too late at this point, but
Okay, I wasn't sure.
yeah, but you could definitely keep those for the next dead person.
Later revivified.
You've got to revivify as long as you're not the dead one.
Yeah.
Yep.
She
That
didn't.
was probably, that
She-
was the worst part. Is like, well, we have the components, just not the.
I even had the
caster.
spell prepared.
Yeah.
Even worse.
All right. Well, what do you want to do today?
Are
the bridge?
we checking out the bridge today, or are we giving Onver one more day of
I
rest?
think I think
I
we
think
should
it's
give
gonna,
on here.
it's gonna take about a day to get there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is it?
should just
You also do know that one of your people is still missing. So not that it's like they're gonna die right away, but there's a little bit of a timer on this.
Do you mean Scarlet?
Yeah, Scarlet.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I mean, at some point we're gonna have to have
We
three-
have given them a bunch of gold to do with the tolls for now. It could
Hey,
be-
actually, Anvir,
Mhm.
it's been a little while since you tried to contact Scarlet. Maybe we should try that again at some point.
I could attempt it, but at the same time, from what I've seen, it seemed like I was being blocked, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
I'm just not sure if at some point we might catch them off guards or the block will have been dropped or something.
I mean, I
possibly
do
not,
have
yeah.
sending prepared at the moment. If you
We
want me
just
to
don't
give
have
it a solid try.
any lead, so.
other than Revan's Pass.
I mean, I could do a
Raven
sending. I have it
Pass,
prepared.
that's the one.
Mongus is like, I remember that place.
All right, I'm down to go to the bridge or to rest one more day or.
I'm fine.
Under
So,
healthy.
from what
and
I
then
know
we
about
go.
the bridge, would we have to rest on the walk there? Is it that far away, or would we get there before we needed to rest?
You could probably make it there by evening. It really depends on your guide.
Okay.
So we would probably rest at least before we get there.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's
We could choose
if-
to rest, yeah.
yeah. If you roll well on your survival, you'll get there quicker. If you roll poorly, you might get lost, and it might take a while. But it's not actually a hard trek because it does go through known caves. So you're
Okay.
probably fine. You might just get turned around at one of the communities or something if you're not careful.
There is also the point that I did give them a fair whack of money to help deal with the tolls just in case. So we could just be like, yeah, this is kind of pressing.
Well, it's up to you all. But you were just talking about another day of downtime. I just wanted to remind you of that. If you were just going to hang out here another day.
I'm gonna be honest.
One of you would be very against spending another day doing nothing here.
I don't see us coming back here soon. So I don't think we probably won't be in this area soon. So Eldwin definitely would want to at least take care of. See if we can take care of this.
It would help
bandit
Candle
problem.
too. Yeah, because Candle also uses those routes. So
Yeah. I think we'll
Head
start
to
heading
the-
to the
yeah.
bridge, I think.
Yeah.
I think make our way,
Very
like
wide
march our way there, rest up, give Andre one more time.
all right.
And
I might need to take a moment to quickly figure a few things out because I wasn't sure you'd go this way. So give me a moment.
You presented us an option nearby. We're going for it.
Yeah, no, I rolled something. I was like, okay, so that would make sense that this is happening.
The only reason, the only reason I was always I was like, yeah, let's do downtime because I honestly think going the ship will be our fastest way to,
How many
Revan's
days
Pass.
did we need to be able to drive?
I need 3. I need 3 days.
Three more or
So we're
3
gonna
total?
basically we're gonna spend one
3
of those
more
just,
days.
just traveling, right? Or you need it as downtime where we're not.
I need it as-
don't you?
I
Yeah,
believe
he
I need
needs
it as
his-
downtime.
Yeah, it's not like on the road. You could just read a book. He needs to
I need-
Maybe we can, after we check out this bridge thing, if we head back to Candle, then we can spend some time bringing the NPCs up to speed or doing some preparations. Yeah, we'll figure it out
All right.
Drive and learn.
drive
because
and
it's going
learn.
to save us time. You know, like if we just go ahead and leave in order to get on the road sooner, we're just going to be moving slower and probably take longer than it would to give you the time.
All right, like I said, I just need a few minutes to figure something out.
Gosh, you don't have every possibility planned out.
Oh, I do. I'm just moving some things around. I know everything.
Okay, but while
course.
we're waiting,
My
while
mistake.
we're figuring this out, can we talk about Raven's Pass? How do we want to approach that one? Like,
Well, we're not doing that
because we're
right
gonna
now.
take care of this. I know, but like planning ahead while we're getting this one set up. I'm thinking that
Well, from what we know about Raven's Pass, is it's more or less just a normal town. We don't know what's actually going down there.
We just know
Well,
like,
it is bigger than a town. It's more of like a trading hub.
like it's a full-on like
It's-
city or hub.
It's not a full city, but there's a lot of stuff going on there. So it's like I don't
So
know what's
here's-
between a
here's-
town and a city.
It's
Have you
bigger than
traveled?
Candle.
Here's Mungus's thought is ran into Wolfen Van Kloof. He's a bard. He can get us into the cities like as his entourage if we all disguise self or just kind of roll some stealth checks. I think we can get into that place and find where this tablet was meant to go. But you guys, I know I dropped this character into the group, but what are y'all thoughts on that next mission?
Yeah, well, I think if we're going to do stealth or disguises, then we may not necessarily need the cover of the bard. But yes, going as the bard's like groupies or band or I don't know, business managers or I don't know,
Security.
some sort of plausible like personas that we take on could be an option. But keep in mind that it might require some deception checks or persuasion checks, or so both routes are, I think, things that we could consider trying, but we just kind of have to think about what we think we can get away with.
Andrea, any thoughts? Can you pretend to be a tour manager?
I can, whether or not it'll be convincing.
No, Nathaniel will be the tour manager.
Oh, that's
let's
true,
be
yeah.
real.
He'll definitely be.
We're the tourists. He's the tour manager.
Andrea's gonna have to be like the flag breaking guy. The one that's like the lights go this way, not that way.
He's the pyrotechnic specialist. I guess that would be Eldwin. Pew,
Yeah.
pew, pew, pew. All right, I'm all ready.
I'm
So
all the spotlights and stuff.
yeah, he does
I'm
the
the security guard.
yeah. All right, so yeah, what are you all doing? Are you traveling towards the bridge?
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
that way.
Bridge. I'm still carrying
Oh,
Andre,
wait,
by the
one
way,
more
because
thing.
he needs a rest.
Just
I'm going
take-
back in my baby boss.
in my here.
Down. He's like, okay, first you get a tattoo of me. Now you won't let me walk on my own. Can you just like back off, dude?
Stalker!
It's not weird. Don't make it weird. Getting the baby Bassett.
Yeah, I go back in the Bosset on his chest.
Swaddle you like a little baby.
Come on, Via.
All right, so that was ready. I need to do one more thing. Sorry.
Lyle.
Guys.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Enough of the lies. Down with the patriarchy.
All right, now I think I'm ready. As soon as this does what it needs to do, yeah. All right, so you are traveling to the bridge. Go ahead and give me, a survival check from Nasira, and I'll take one more, probably from Mungus.
Manga?
I think me and Mungus have the same plus, actually, but I have -1 at the moment, so.
All right.
You get advantage.
Are you down to 1?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
now 1. 2, sorry.
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
one more day.
We've only
Sorry.
past one night, yeah.
It'll be 1 once we rest.
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, we
Alright.
passed 2 nights. The night I got resurrected and the day after.
Yeah, so you'd have 2 left.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that-
Before we left, I would have said like I would have said on here's like before we rested, you want to have you sent a message to anyone in Candle to let them know you're alive?
Not yet. That I didn't know how many people knew, to be fair.
We did carry your dead body through the middle of town.
Well, we did say we were probably going to try and rest before we got to the actual bridge.
Yeah.
I could do
I
that
was just
before
like,
we go down
maybe
to
we
sleep.
should contact them, let them know you're okay.
Why
Yeah,
would we
maybe.
do that?
Hey, you come back. There's a statue. He's dead.
Yeah, what's that Firefly episode? Jamestown? Janetown?
Janetown, yeah.
Like, I remember that. I dropped a Drop the whatever. As they dropped all the gold on the town and they thought he
Yeah, they
was like
thought that he
Robin
was,
Hood.
like, gifting it. Yeah.
Like, lost a lot of money that day.
Love that show.
Yeah. So yeah, are you sending a message to someone, you said?
Yeah, I'd probably send a message to either. I had to think about the proper name there. Either Mirren or Alan. I would send a message to, just being like, "I'm alive, dealing with some stuff at home, and then we'll be back."
BRB.
BRB. So she would reply, "It's so good that you survived. Thank the gods. I look forward to seeing you again soon." All right. So, the journey goes without much of a hiccup.
What? That's a fuss.
It's I mean, these roads seem pretty quiet.
For now.
And as you kind of get to the cave, kind of where the water areas are, you would notice that the caves turn into more of almost like an old church-like area with like tiled floors. And what you would recognize is huge train tracks moving through this area. I guess you wouldn't know what train tracks are, but that's what they look like. History might tell you something. If anyone has history trained.
I do.
So 16.
Where's
16?
7.
Uh,
No.
yeah, so you know that this area used to, in times past, there was like a huge dwarven city that went all down the river, and they had these massive trains that moved resources up and down the river, and then used the river to kind of move them even further into the empire. All that's left now is kind of like the ruined remains of these places. So, as you kind of move through these halls, you would hear some voices up ahead. Does anyone... I assume you're not stealthing, right?
And hard to stealth with a 7-foot Goliath.
Yeah, you guys aren't
And
very
someone
quiet.
in-
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
So-
someone Goliath and someone in heavy armor.
As you're coming out of the tunnel, you would see a bunch of drow standing around, armed. They probably heard you coming, especially with all your lights and your 7-foot tall guy. And one of them... Hang on, I'll get the screen up.
And one of them can't see. Don't in heavy armor have disadvantage on stealth? Or,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
actually, no, I haven't.
Unless it's
Mithril.
like
Mithril.
mithril.
Yeah, never mind. I don't
In that
have
case, you're normal.
disadvantage. I'm normal. I forgot which armor I got.
So let me put you all in here, and then I have to give you all your various dark visions and everything.
You guys can
Dark
see the
Oh,
new
and
token
my-
I made.
Yeah, what about my light? Gotta get my light in this.
Oh yeah,
My
my
tattoo
on
is
Omir would have
loading.
casted his light.
Yeah,
Mungus
so
got
Mungus, just mark your token with... Well, he wouldn't need it anymore. He has it on his tattoo.
He's got his
I'm-
torch tattoo.
I'm assuming.
I'd give it to LJ then.
What would Onvir's advantage on initiative look like with his new glowing eyes?
I think it really
Definitely.
looks like anything. I don't think it really looks like anything. It's just that I give you a blessing.
Sorry, Eldwin, did you have dark vision?
No, I'd have a light.
You have a light? Alright. So yeah, these drow don't seem too concerned about you as you walk forward towards their little area here. One of them would say, you all, what are you doing here? And he kind of steps forward. He says, you are in our territory right now.
I'm sorry, our map person back there, not very good directions, Mongus. So, how can we do you for?
He says, I'm assuming you wish to cross our bridge. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, that thing's a bridge? What? I'm sorry, that thing doesn't work for a bridge. Where I'm from, bridges are bigger. Sorry, just. But yeah, bridge.
He sighs.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
wait, what's Mungus doing? Are you just running up?
Oh no, I didn't know where the rest of us were.
Can you not see?
I don't have light either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hang
sorry.
on. Let me see what's going on with your token.
Okay, I'm
I
back.
thought I pressed. Oh wait, is my stuff broken? My stuff is broken. That's what I get for not doing combat this whole game. I didn't even realize my tools were broken this whole time. All this
If
storytelling.
something isn't broken once a session, something
Darn,
is wrong.
like, darn story and role play. Gosh.
Exactly.
What's that?
All right, let me.
Mom's beard
Tattoos.
dying, piece of crap.
Your tattoos
No,
and then
I'm-
tattoos start glowing.
Yeah, let me. Sorry, let me. I was just pressing the light button, assuming it was working. Give me one moment. That should have fixed my tools. Pop back in here. Yep, they are working, or at least one of my tools is working. So here, let me put the light on you all. So Mungus, torch,
Oh, Jay would have
torch.
it from Onvir.
I can see like almost this entire map. It's amazing.
Okay, shut up, Doctor.
Well, there's also a bunch of lights on behind them. So actually,
Yeah,
a couple of you can
Yeah,
see
it's
pretty
lit
far
up-
back.
It's lit up really far from me. As
Uh,
well, and
you
I
would-
thought that was-
You would notice there's not torches burning, but it looks like a bunch of continual light rocks have been set in place to help light this area up, probably to keep people from trying to sneak through. But anyway, the guy who walks up to you, let me get his picture. He says,
Might want to move back.
You have entered the area of the captain and his men. I assume you wish to cross our bridge.
I was gonna say his accent fell away there.
I don't really know what I'm going for.
What captain were you part of? I was part of the military too.
We
What
have
captain were you part of?
a wise one here, boys. He says, "Look, what are you trying to move across the bridge? We're fair here. We're not trying to swindle anyone. Just give us a list of your goods and your people, and we'll get you a price and get you moving on."
Okay, so it's gonna be me. It's gonna be the shrouded one. It's gonna be the one that was half dead back there. It's gonna be the whatever the fuck Eldrin is, and the barbarian there, the 7-foot Goliath. It's gonna be us passing through.
I noticed a distinct lack of names there, friend. Who is me?
Hi, my name is Leo Jr. Boss is somewhere back there, doing God knows what. That's gonna be Anvir, the one that was half dead. The 7-foot Goliath is Mongus.
Mungus.
The shrouded girl, I'm gonna say girl, would be well, she can introduce herself, and the green one back there is Eldon.
He says, only 5 of you? That doesn't seem like that many. One of them starts speaking to him in Undercommon. Does anyone speak Undercommon? He says, Captain, that looks like them, is
I
it?
also speak Undercommon, yeah.
Ain't these the ones we've been looking out for? He says back in Undercommon, maybe, but I need to know more about them first. Know your place, buddy. He says, okay, look, 5 of you, got your names. Says, I'll let you through with no wagons or anything. Probably run you about 10 gold pieces. Just traveling on foot.
Why
That's like 2 gold. That it's more than one person on average makes a day each.
Says, yeah, well,
So why 10 gold? Why couldn't If
He says,
people
"What, you think average
free.
people are going to be walking through the caves?" He says, "You're obviously not
Yes.
average people.
Yes, this
You're
average people do walk
you're
over
armed to
here.
the teeth, and you're armored. I think you can afford it. 10
I'm
gold is
part of
nothing
the
to people
merit.
like you."
Yes, you are very much right. But why 10 gold? Why couldn't it be free?
This captain, this one does talk a lot. He says, "What do you mean
Trust
free?"
me.
Oh,
Okay,
you didn't hear
okay,
that. That was an undercommon.
Okay, never mind.
He says, "Look, is 10 gold too much? Because if it is, you guys are going to have to learn to swim and just go around. I feel like 10
No.
gold is pretty cheap here."
Yes, 10 gold is cheap, I will admit. But why 10 gold? Why couldn't it be free?
Is there someone else I could talk to? Actually, give me a persuasion check. Even though there's no way you're going to make this, I think.
Depends.
like maybe Nathaniel.
Where's
could,
Eldwin?
but-
Where's Nathaniel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Nathaniel would be able to.
No.
Yeah, so he says, can anyone talk to me besides Brainless over here?
Yes, you can be a boss who talks much faster than I do. So either you deal with me or talk to someone who can talk 10,000 miles faster than me and do it much better.
Is anyone else going to step up and try to talk to this guy?
I just have a seething look on my face because these people have been fucking with my family.
So, yeah, so,
Honestly, we're past time, and Nathaniel
Oh.
would be really good to have.
Yeah, actually, since we're past time, maybe we want to wait till next time, and
perfect pivotal. point
perfect
to let-
timing for Nathaniel to come in and
so
hopefully.
LJ says, so, here's my boss. And Nathaniel steps up.
Alright, so yeah, why don't we do MVP votes and we can end here. And-
I'd like to nominate Mungus for an inspiration. Like you said, you want to start awarding inspiration for when people do something particularly like unique to their character or particularly.
Yeah, if it makes sense to the character.
I thought the tattoo thing was really unique idea, and you know.
As much as I
Yeah.
loved the idea, I just started thinking about like, imagine that happening to you in real life.
Okay. The fact that the tattoo is of Anvir is a little odder, considering we were still like expecting and hoping to bring you back.
Bring
you
him
know,
back.
You weren't fully
Oh
gone.
god.
But I mean,
I've known this
so,
guy
like,
one day. I'm gonna get him tattooed on the back of my hand.
I meant
That's
the
like-
enchanted. Like he asked like the magic users to like use their light spell to enchant the ink that he was going to use for the tattoo, and that made us think of the eternal flame. I thought it was a really unique
Get me wrong,
concept.
yeah.
So
I absolutely loved it, but I was just thinking,
Yeah,
God, imagine that actually happening.
that's fine. Mungus, if you were inspired, you can gain inspiration.
Yeah, but I can't stack it. I still haven't used
No, you
my
can't.
first inspiration.
well, anyway, I guess in one of the other games, Lou, we were talking about how like you want to award inspiration for interesting things like that or good in character. Stuff.
Yeah, for like
and so
in character stuff. Yeah.
So I want to try to like remember to like kind of like propose like, hey, someone should get inspiration for that. Like nominate people when I think of it, you know. Yeah.
So I just.
No, I tell you what, my internet started dying the second we started talking to the drow. I went to 5,000 ping in Discord.
I
That's all-
still
that's all
need
I'm
a
with
whisper from you, Mungus.
Shoot. Okay.
It's /W space GM space who you want to vote for. It's Alright, you got it.
There it is.
So Anvir with 3 votes, you are the MVP.
Hey.
Actually, with
I
4
can't remember.
votes.
Plus
I
you
can't-
died, and then you will survive.
It's
Good job for
unanimous.
surviving.
I can't remember. Did we change it to become inspired, or does it still get a story point?
Oh no, it's inspired. The only way to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
story points now is scribe, or if you do something out of game.
For me.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought I
you
remembered, but I
once
forgot.
every 4 sessions, not you every session.
Yeah.
I do
would
want
be
to
a
clarify
bit-
that when I swiped the bottle of Elven wine, I thought there were more than one bottles because it said bottles. So
Don't
like
worry
One
about it.
bottles of wine.
It's fine.
Don't worry
Momus
about it.
would not.
We still have
Momus would not
casks
have
of
taken the
wine.
last bottle. Yeah.
Maybe he thought there was more. It's not a big deal. That's fine.
It's fine.
I-
were
We still
It
also
carrying-
have,
it
like,
made
3
for
casks.
interesting RP anyway.
we were carrying them for quite a while, so it's really
Yeah.
fine. Although I am curious what the enchantment was. Like none of us had enough of it apparently.
So LJ, you did. I think this is your 4th session, so you would get
Yeah.
an or a story point. Do we want to rotate this to a new person for quartermaster, or leave it as LJ? Sierra would be next.
I mean,
It's
I'm,
a-
I'm
It's
happy
at
to
the
do
end.
I
of
I
the
mean, we
road.
can
Story,
ask
but-
Nathaniel if he wants to do it when he comes back.
Well,
but,
it would be
I'm fine
Sierra.
keeping it up.
Sierra would have the option of taking it over if she wants. Otherwise, we can leave it at LJ. So it'd be up to you, Sierra, if you wanted to take over quartermaster.
He's got a system going on with lots of colors and stuff. I'll leave him to it.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll leave it as LJ then, if that's what you want.
Yeah. I would have to take Wyken out as friend to you.
I have a spell.
I'm
That
the
will
one. I added half the
roughly
formulas
equate it.
for you when
Yeah.
I first took it over.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think she could
Well-
figure it out.
Yeah, I have a spell that's gonna mess with these guys pretty hard prepared at the moment.
You get a new fun stuff.
Who else
Well,
was it?
it just
that-
works very well against Drow.
Who else was it that speaks Undercommon?
No,
I think it's just me.
Yeah, I think it's just
Anvir?
Umber.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Anvir
That's
and
who I
Nasira.
see.
I do think that it's
Oh, you speak it as well.
So Nasira speaks. Yeah, she does. This is the first Undercommon that we've encountered since she's been with the group. But yeah, I was thinking, her interest is piqued by what she heard them say in Undercommon, like that they were looking for us. So, like, I mean, I guess we can either do some role play in the chat during the week or at the beginning of next session. But like, I don't want to just like murder these guys right off the bat. There's some questions.
Yeah, I want to be able to share that info with the group, but it's very hard to be able to do at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was debating the same thing, and that's why I said maybe we should role play it.
Yeah.
Like exactly how we'll kind of
Raven, I sent you the stuff on Felix, LJ's weather, and what Felix looks like. And DMs.
Yeah, I could probably take a look at it later. That's fine.
I'm gonna head out.
All right, good
I'm
night.
also
Uh,
gonna head out.
Have a good week,
Bye,
everyone.
Welcome back.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Catch you all.
Bye.